Now, if it is bothering you and you live in the city, I want to tell you about the warming centers that they have around town. They are at the following community service centers in Inglewood, Garfield, Martin Luther King, North Area, South Chicago, and Trina de Villa. But other options, if you need to dip in and get some heat, are to visit a local library, a senior center, or a police station. If you're feeling your fingers start to tingle and go numb, it's time to dip in and take in some heat. Again, brutally cold, layer up, and good luck to you this morning. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you. I love that warm send-off from Roseanne. A woman is charged in connection to the shooting death of a 31-year-old mother after she dropped her son off at school. This happened on September 8th near Cermak Road and State Street. According to police, Romika Blackman had just said goodbye to her son when moments later she was shot in the face during a fight outside his school. The suspect has now been identified as Quadeja Holly Johnson. Our own Tia Ewing reports the two women share children with the same man who was also at the scene of the shooting. Johnson was initially taken into custody, but then released shortly afterwards. She's going to be in court later this morning.
Chicago Public Schools have agreed to the largest school sex abuse settlement in Illinois history, $17.5 million. Attorneys for the victim in the case, known only as Jane Doe, say that former CPS Dean of Students Brian Crowder sexually abused the girl during her junior and senior years at Social Justice High School. This was between 2015 and 2016. The former student alleges Crowder even posed as her stepfather to sign a consent form to get her abortions. Crowder was found guilty of sexual abuse. He was sentenced to 22 years in prison back in August.
The Trump administration is being sued over a controversial South Shore apartment raid. A national group wants the White House to release video from that September operation. The Department of Homeland Security later posted a dramatic clip of the arrests, saying about 36 undocumented immigrants were detained, some believed to be tied to drug or weapons crimes.
Chicago's Committee on License and Consumer Protection approves a ban on hemp sales in the city. This is ahead of a federal hemp ban set to take effect in November of next year. But if adopted by the full council here in Chicago, the citywide ban would shut down the sale of hemp-derived products that contain chemical compounds found in cannabis unless they are sold by licensed cannabis dispensaries. Now, those who spoke out against this ordinance say an outright ban would crush mom-and-pop businesses across the city that do sell these hemp products.
Passing that measure has resulted in a reduction in the number of poisoned children and 911 calls. There has been talk about how the city can profit from these dangerous narcotics, but public health is not for sale.
Prohibition does not erase the market. Prohibition does not erase that customer. It's still there. Instead, you put it all to the side. You encourage those bad actors that you are trying to remove. You're enabling them when we need to regulate the beverages that we already have in the market that we already have.
This ordinance is off to the full council for a vote in the coming weeks.
New details in the airstrike on an alleged drug boat that has Pete Hegseth under increasing scrutiny. The AP is reporting the Pentagon knew there were survivors in the Caribbean, but still launched a follow-up strike, a possible violation of the laws of armed conflict. Today, Admiral Frank Bradley, who has been blamed for the second strike, will testify during the classified congressional briefing.
House Democrats, meantime, have released newly discovered photos and videos from Jeffrey Epstein's private island. Lawmakers are using the new images to put pressure on U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi to follow the law, requiring the DOJ to release all the Epstein files by the 19th of December. A bipartisan group is also now demanding a briefing from Bondi by this Friday on whether the DOJ is going to be able to meet that deadline and what new evidence might be in those files.
Police in Rosemont giving an update on the investigation into actress Tara Reid's claims that she was drugged at a hotel there. Police say surveillance footage shows no one tampered with her drink at the Rosemont DoubleTree Hotel bar. Detectives reviewed surveillance footage from the hotel bar and conducted multiple interviews. The footage does show Reid at the bar and a bartender covering her drink when she left. Rosemont police say the investigation is still ongoing. However, no one is being investigated.
All right, 6:08, time to turn things over to Caitlin Cody for a look at these bitter cold temperatures. Wow, in terms of wind chill, we're getting real dangerous territory.
Below zero wind chills expected, yes, and today is going to be cold from start to finish, but it will be a beautiful day today, so at least we have sunshine. Temperatures reaching the upper teens as our high, feeling like we could be around 10 to 12 degrees at our peak. But the snow chances are back in the forecast. A very wintry outlook is ahead. So checking in first with our current temperatures, it's 6:09 and it's 8 degrees at the lakefront and O'Hare, 3 degrees below zero in Aurora, 3 in Morris to LaSalle, and temperatures in northwest Indiana are in the mid-teens to low 20s now. Feel like temperature 19 degrees below zero in Aurora, 4 degrees below zero at O'Hare, 1 degree below zero at the lakefront. You get the point. Dangerous cold air is in place. Now, as I take you through your day, this afternoon, as mentioned, we could be climbing to about 10 to 12 in Chicago. Some of us, though, staying below zero with the wind chill. 5 p.m. and we still see 7 degrees below zero for that feel-like temperature in DeKalb. Tonight and early tomorrow, it may feel even colder than this morning. 15 to 20 degrees below zero for that wind chill to start off your Friday. And then Friday night, we have the chance for a little bit of light snow. I'll show you that on your maps ahead.
Caitlin, thank you. A Pentagon watchdog is providing an update after Secretary of War Pete Hegseth used the Signal platform a few months back to discuss a strike in Yemen. .13, and we're reminding you to really bundle up before you head outside this morning because we have dangerously cold temperatures.
Yeah, we're starting the day in the single digits. Wind chills, though, dipping well below zero, everybody. So warming centers, they are going to be available throughout the Chicago area. We're about to check back in with Caitlin, who will have an update on just how long this cold is going to be sticking around.
And Chicago's Committee on License and Consumer Protection approves a ban on hemp sales in the city, which shut down the sale of hemp-derived products that contain chemical compounds found in cannabis unless sold by licensed cannabis dispensaries. It now goes to the full city council for a vote.
Police in Rosemont say that surveillance footage shows that no one actually tampered with actress Tara Reid's drink at the Rosemont Doubletree Hotel bar. Detectives reviewed surveillance footage from the hotel bar and conducted a series of interviews as well. Police say the investigation is still ongoing. However, at this point, no one is being investigated.
Video shows the moment a fighter jet crashes in California. The U.S. Air Force says a Thunderbird jet crashed during a training mission. You can see the pilot was able to safely eject from the jet. He is not hurt, thank goodness. There was also no damage to any property. The cause, though, is still being investigated.
Meantime, a Pentagon watchdog group finds Secretary of War Pete Hegseth put U.S. personnel at risk by using Signal to share details about a strike against militants in Yemen. This report accuses the secretary of violating policy by using his personal device during that military attack. The Signal chat, which involved top White House officials, also accidentally included a reporter. Federal agents, they are cracking down on immigration in New Orleans. Yesterday, this is footage of them doing those enforcement operations. At one point, they arrived in a suburb of Kenner. That is a city with the most Hispanic residents in the state of Louisiana. Dozens of agents, they surrounded a home where an unidentified man was found on a roof. He was up there waiting for officers to leave. The Trump administration has vowed to round up illegal immigrants accused of violent crimes. It's 6:15 and time to send things over to Caitlin for an update on these bitter cold temperatures. Caitlin, it's dangerous out there today.
It is. Wind chills below zero, 19 degrees below zero as our low point in Aurora right now. Feeling like 4 degrees below zero at O'Hare, 1 degree below zero at the lakefront. So temperatures are going to be dangerously cold, not only this morning and today, but into tonight as well. So here's your map around the area. You can see that 0 and below wind chill temperature for most of us. We are going to see temperatures reaching the upper teens and low 20s today as our actual high, but it's going to feel like we could be much colder than that. You can see over the next 12 hours, temperatures reaching around 18 to 19, feeling like we could be around 10 to 12 instead. So that's how you should dress. High pressure is in control, though, so it is going to be a quiet day of weather outside of the cold temperatures. As we head on into tomorrow, another very cold start, 15 to 20 degrees below zero for that wind chill. And then we have the chance for a little bit of light snow tomorrow night, especially north of the city. As we work our way into the weekend, though, more snow is in the forecast Saturday night into Sunday morning, but the temperatures will be improving. Around 29 expected to be our high on Friday, Saturday at about 31, upper 20s Sunday, and then on Monday 24 with dry skies before the chance for snow is back as we work our way through Tuesday with a mix of rain snow expected on Wednesday. Gabby, what's new?
Hey, Caitlin, we're still talking about those two crashes on the northbound side of I-55. Now, I know that they're working really hard to get this one cleaned up. It's by Veterans Parkway. On the northbound side, the traffic starts again around Plainfield all the way to that spot. They were closing down a majority of the lanes just to clean up some of that debris, but it looks like it's back over, just blocking a couple lanes there. And then also way at the bottom corner here, that's northbound I-55 near Bluff Road. That also has a couple lanes blocked still. A new crash to report over on the southbound side of the Tri-State, looks like. I'll have to look at a location for that one. And then this is just a stall that's happening over on I-94 in Indiana. Let's take a look at your drive times if you are headed in closer to the city. Still looking okay. 30 minutes on the Kennedy from O'Hare to downtown. 30 minutes as well on the Eisenhower. Traffic starting to build on the Stevenson. 30 minutes from 355 to DuSable Lakeshore Drive and 25 minutes on the Dan Ryan. I'll send it back to you.
Okay, Gabby, thank you very much. Lawmakers in Washington, they are moving forward with an investigation into the U.S. military attack on an alleged Venezuelan drug boat.
As Douglas Ader reports from Washington this morning, the admiral who oversaw the attack is set to testify on the Capitol Hill today.
There have been a number of U.S. strikes on suspected Venezuelan drug boats in recent weeks, but it's this one on September 2nd that is now under intense scrutiny from both parties.
I think there's a broad consensus that it's illegal to kill people who are clinging to wreckage.
In the video, we only see the first attack that largely destroyed the boat, but after survivors were seen, there was a second strike. There are reports this morning in the New York Times that the survivors were killed after they radioed for assistance. And while critics have focused on War Secretary Pete Hegseth, the Pentagon says Admiral Frank Bradley called the shots that day, and he will brief select lawmakers today in a closed-door session.
The Admiral's an absolute stud. That's all I would say. He's a stud, and I support his decision.
Others not so sure, and there have been allegations that this could have been a war crime.
The truth is, if there was nothing problematic here in terms of the strike, and I'll be seeing Admiral Bradley tomorrow, release the unedited video. You could clear this up.
And while we haven't seen that full video released, President Trump says he is open to doing so.
I don't know what they have, but whatever they have, we'd certainly release, no problem.
All right, so we're checking in with Doug now. Beyond today's testimony from the Admiral, Doug, what would you say the next step is going to be in this investigation?
Well, this Admiral today, according to the Wall Street Journal, is going to say that there was a rationale and a justification for engaging in this second strike. That the apparently, again, according to the Journal, that these two individuals were seen still on the boat attempting to continue this drug run. Now, you know, a lot of this may come down to the video itself, and if, in fact, we ever see the entire video here involving not just the first strike, but the second.
Depending on this testimony today, Doug, what could happen? Are we talking about the Admiral losing his job or charges being filed? I mean, is there any idea what could happen next?
Well, we don't know ultimately what the determination here is going to be. You know, the War Secretary described this as kind of fog of war. Was it legitimate to go after the boat in the first place? I mean, there have been legal questions about these strikes kind of writ large. But the other question about this double strike, the second attack on this boat, whether that was actually going after survivors or individuals who were still actively involved in trying to ferry these drugs. That's what's going to be so interesting to see as far as this explanation from the Pentagon is concerned.
All right, we'll keep an eye on it. Doug, thank you as always, sir.
Thank you.
All right, meantime, a new debate over newborn care. The discussion the CDC is right now having over the hepatitis B vaccine. We'll be right back.
I'm on vacation.
Welcome back. Bitter cold start to our Thursday here at 6:23. Dangerously cold wind chills out there, so bundle up, bundle those kids up before you head to the bus stop. We'll check in with Caitlin in just a moment. But first, some news. Illinois State Secretary of State, I should say, Alexi Janulius, is trying to make it a little easier for residents to get that real ID. This week, the TSA announced it would increase the penalty for those at the airport without one. It's going to go up from $18 to $45. Now, that fee goes into effect starting February 1st. Officials say the goal here is simply to help ensure everyone is ready before real IDs become mandatory in 2027. The state is also now adding more cashiers to real ID sites and also launching a partnership with the Cook County Clerk's Office to help people get the documents that they need to get one.
This partnership means a designated cashier for Real ID related requests, updating the appointment system to designate Real ID specific appointments, and adding phone and email support to help customers directly. This is what we call reducing the time tax. We're cutting red tape, saving people time, and helping them avoid surprise fees. This is government working better for you. So please, don't wait. Get your Real ID today and avoid the expensive and unnecessary federal upcharge.
If you don't have a Real ID yet, you can set up an appointment with the DMV.
President Trump is announcing a plan to loosen fuel regulations. A proposal will reduce fuel economy requirements, rolling back standards raised under the Biden administration. The new standards are more lenient on miles per gallon targets.
The Department of Transportation will rescind the Biden fuel economy prices. And I hate to say that because they were really not economy. They were really, they were anti-economy. They were horrible what they were doing.
President Trump says the changes will help people save $1,000 on car purchases.
A group of advisors to the CDC, handpicked by Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., that group's going to vote this week on whether the agency should scrap its long-standing recommendation that every baby get a hepatitis B vaccine within 24 hours of birth. The shot is widely credited with driving down infections in kids by 99%. The committee is set to meet today and Friday, and they make their recommendation to the CDC director, who will then choose whether to adopt it.
Massive recall this morning for cheese sold in both Illinois and Indiana. The recall impacts more than 1.5 million bags of shredded cheese because they may contain metal fragments. They were manufactured by Great Lakes Cheese Company and sold under various brands like Lucerne, Borden, Great Value, and Good and Gather. They were sold at major retailers, including Aldi, Target, and Walmart. The recall includes mozzarella, pizza style, and provolone cheeses with sell-by dates from January to March 2026. So far, no reports of injuries.
All right, good news for Bad Bunny. Spotify says the rapper is the most streamed artist globally for 2025. Big accomplishment there. Now, the second most, no surprise there, Taylor Swift. She had been #1 the past 2 years and is still #1 here in the U.S. Bad Bunny has the #1 album, though. #2 is the soundtrack to the movie K-pop Demon Hunters.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
Never goes away, does it?
No.
6:26 now. Hey, Caitlin.
It's beautiful but cold today. Starting off with wind chills below 0. We are slowly going to be warming as we head on into the weekend, but we have a few rounds of snow to get through. A full check of your forecast is coming up.
Did you Good morning. Welcome back to Good Day Chicago here during our 6 o'clock hour. We appreciate you being here.
And here's some of the top stories we're following for you this morning. We're sending you a big warm hug, like Olaf from Frozen today, because it is dangerously cold out there. Caitlin's going to have details for you on how long we can expect these frigid temperatures.
An ordinance to ban certain hemp products in Chicago is moving forward.
And Rosemont police give an update on the investigation into actress Tara Reid's claim that she was drugged at a hotel.
All right, we'll get to those stories in just a moment. First, we want to check in with Caitlin about just how bitter it is outside right now. In terms of temperature, Caitlin, this is dangerous stuff.
Do you want to check in? Because I don't know if you do. It is. I know. The feel-like temperature this morning, 15 to 20 degrees below zero. And it's not just this morning. It's also going to be that cold again tonight into Friday morning. So to Anthony's point, dangerously cold, absolutely. These chills below zero, our weather headlines shows that teens are going to be our high today. Some of us reaching into the low 20s. But even this afternoon, it's going to feel like we're hardly above 10 degrees with that wind chill. Chance for snow is back. It returns as soon as, actually, before we get to the weekend. I'm talking about Friday night and then again this weekend, Saturday night into Sunday morning. The little bit of snow is around. Today, though, it is going to be a quiet day. That's the good news. We have sunshine on the way, dry skies. Temperatures right now ranging from 3 degrees below zero as the actual temperature in Aurora to 8 at the lakefront and O'Hare. Wind chills right now 19 degrees below zero in Aurora, 5 degrees below zero at the lakefront. So make sure you dress warm for this morning and really through the day. We'll take a look at that full 7-day forecast, including improving temperatures as we head into the weekend. Ahead first, though, checking in with Gabby for a scene. What's going on?
Caitlin, we have Skyfox up, which is great because the last few days they've had to be down because of that low cloud cover. This is over in Bolingbrook. Remember I was telling you about that crash? Northbound I-55 near Veterans Parkway. It involved a rolled over car. That has been cleared. Now this is a secondary crash that just popped up, and it looks like 2 firemen checking on the 2 drivers there, but they're blocking 2 left lanes, causing even more traffic in this area that was already experiencing a lot of stop and go. The traffic starts around US 30 before that Plainfield curve, as they like to call it, on the northbound side, so please be aware of this. Yeah, the delay, look at it, is major. I'll give you a look at drive times and some train issues coming up.
Thank you so much, Gabby. The temperatures this morning, as we mentioned, are dangerous as people make their way to work.
Roseanne is live with more on ways to keep warm today. Roseanne, good morning.
Good morning. Well, we're in Western Springs this morning where I just checked. It's now 2 degrees. So we've already lost 2 since we've been here. This is a beautiful spot. It's a lovely winter scene. There are snow-covered buildings and Christmas lights. But let me tell you, when you climb out of the car or off of the train, you're in for a jolt. But then again, those brutal temperatures are all over the Chicago area today. It is dangerous for anybody, but particularly if you were going to be walking or taking the train or bus. Not only do you have to worry about thoroughly bundling up, but also beware of all of the snow on the ground because it is now solid ice. Some people say they knew these frigid temps were coming, just not so early in the season. Your secret? You have any, special advice for anybody?
Just bundle up, wear as many layers as you can, and keep your head covered, your extremities covered. Yeah. Just do everything you can. Stay inside as much as you can.
Yeah, stay inside might be the best bet, but of course most of us do have to get up and get moving, so bundle up. We want to tell you about the warming centers, particularly in the city, at the community service centers in Inglewood, Garfield, Martin Luther King, the North area. There's South Chicago and the Trina Davila Community Service Center. Other options, local colleges, senior centers, the police station is a good bet if you need a quick warm-up. You can find the location nearest you by dialing 311, or you can download the Shy 311 app on your phone. As Caitlin said, there's some relief coming tomorrow. It's going to be, I think, in the 30s, which normally doesn't sound good, but after today, just might. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Roseanne. Stay warm out there if you can. A woman is charged in connection to the shooting death of a 31-year-old mother after she dropped her son off at school. Happened on September 8th near Cermak Road and State Street. According to police, Romika Blackman had just said goodbye to her son when moments later she was shot in the face during a fight outside his school. The suspect has now been identified as Quadasia Holly Johnson. Our own Tia Ewing reports the two women share children with the same man who was also at the scene of the shooting. Johnson was initially taken into custody, but then released shortly afterwards. She'll be in court later this morning.
Chicago Public Schools has agreed to the largest school sex abuse settlement in Illinois history, $17.5 million here. Attorneys for the victim in the case, known only as Jane Doe, say that former CPS Dean of Students Brian Crowder sexually abused the girl during her junior and senior years at Social Justice High School. This happened between 2015 and 2016. The former student alleged that Crowder even posed as her stepfather and signed a consent form to get her abortions. Crowder was found guilty of sexual abuse. He was sentenced to 22 years in prison last August.
The Trump administration being sued over a controversial South Shore apartment raid. A national group wants the White House to release video from the September operation. The Department of Homeland Security later posted a dramatic clip of the arrests, saying about 36 undocumented immigrants were detained. Some are believed to be tied to drug or weapons crimes.
A man has pled guilty to an attack on Jewish students at DePaul University. This was last year. Adam Erkin was sentenced to 2 years probation, along with 100 hours of community service. The 20-year-old was originally facing 7 felonies, including 4 hate crime charges in this attack, but he reached a misdemeanor plea agreement last month. Prosecutors say the 2 Jewish students were peacefully advocating for Israel. Both men were seriously injured.
An investigation is underway after a woman was hit and killed by a CTA bus. Happened yesterday on South Shore Drive. A bus started moving after a stop when a witness tells us a 42-year-old woman started running after the bus. Police say she slipped and was run over. The driver reportedly kept going.
When I say I was traumatized initially because I was driving, and then I just looked to the side and I see the woman laying there, and then I saw like 4 people starting to crouch down to try to help her.
When an accident like this does happen, the bus driver is pulled off the job immediately and tested for drugs and alcohol.
Chicago's Committee on License and Consumer Protection has approved a ban on hemp sales here in the city. A federal hemp ban is also set to take effect next November. If it's adopted by our full council here in Chicago, the citywide ban would shut down the sale of hemp-derived products that can contain chemical compounds found in cannabis, unless they're sold by a licensed cannabis dispensary. Those who spoke out against this ordinance say that an outright ban would crush mom-and-pop businesses across the city that sell hemp products. The ordinance is off to the full council for a vote in the coming weeks.
New details in the airstrike on an alleged drug boat that has Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth under increasing scrutiny. The AP is reporting the Pentagon knew there were survivors in the Caribbean, but still launched a follow-up strike, a possible violation of the laws of armed conflict. Today, Admiral Frank Bradley, who has been blamed for the second strike, will testify during the classified congressional briefing.
House Democrats have released newly discovered photos and videos from Jeffrey Epstein's private island. You're looking at it here. Lawmakers using these new images to put pressure on U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi to follow the law requiring the Justice Department to release all the Epstein files by the 19th of December. A bipartisan group is also now demanding a briefing from Bondi by this Friday on whether the DOJ is going to be able to meet that deadline and what new evidence might be in those files.
And back here at home, police in Rosemont giving an update on the investigation into actress Tara Reid's claims that she was drugged at a hotel. Police say surveillance footage shows no one tampered with her drink at the Rosemont Doubletree Hotel bar. Detectives reviewed surveillance footage from the hotel bar. They conducted multiple interviews. The footage does show Reid at the bar and a bartender covering her drink when she left. Rosemont police say the investigation is still ongoing. However, no one is being investigated.
All right, 6:39. Let's send it back over to Caitlin Cody, who's standing by with a look at these temperatures. And everything I see there, single digits, negative digits.
Negative digits.
Yikes.
These are the wind chills. Yes.
Oh, my gosh. Look at Aurora.
19 degrees.
Wow.
Below zero is what it feels like there. degrees below zero at O'Hare, 8 degrees below zero at the lakefront. Again, these are the feel-like temperatures, not the actual temperatures, but it feels like we could be down to 15 to 20 degrees below zero this morning for some. And that's going to be the case over the next few hours before we slowly start to climb. But even still, single digits expected this afternoon for most as that feel-like temperature. So these are our wind chills at 5 p.m., right around 3 at O'Hare, 5 at the lakefront, 11 in Gary, still below zero for western counties. And then tonight and actually into early tomorrow, we could see temperatures even lower than that, with wind chills dropping to 15 to 20 degrees below zero for many in western areas, around 9 degrees below zero at O'Hare. And then tomorrow morning at 7, slow improvement, 0 at the lakefront. Into the afternoon, temperatures feeling like we could be in the upper teens, so temperatures will be warming up tomorrow. We are going to have more clouds, though, and then the chance for a little bit of light snow Friday night, especially north of Chicago. Here's your futurecast for today. Outside of the cold, it is going to be a quiet day with sunny skies. Moving into tomorrow, though, that's when the clouds are going to be building, and we have that potential for a little bit of light snow. This weekend, temperatures back to the upper 20s and low 30s. Natalie.
Caitlin, thank you. Plenty more to come here on Good Day Chicago. Illinois Secretary of State Alexi Giannulli is trying to make it easier for residents to get their real ID. And there's a recall this morning for shredded cheese sold in Illinois and Indiana. And the doctor who supplied actor Matthew Perry with ketamine learns his fate in court. Anthony?
And it is the season of giving, Natalie. Fox 32 Chicago, PNC Bank, and the Chicago Bears all teaming up with the Greater Chicago Food Depository to help feed local families in need. Now is the perfect time to donate here because giving every dollar we donate will be matched by the bank and the Bears for a short time. You can go online to do that to chicagosfoodbank.org.
Thanks for joining us here on Good Day Chicago. It is 6:44. Lovely look at the city. Super cold out there. Shout out to all of our trash collectors and our mail carriers and anyone else who has to work outside today. Please be careful. A Pentagon watchdog finds Secretary of War Pete Hegseth put U.S. personnel at risk by using Signal back in March to share details of a strike against militants in Yemen. The report accuses the secretary of violating policy by using his personal device during the military attack. The Signal chat, which involved top White House officials, also accidentally included a reporter. Federal agents now cracking down on immigration in New Orleans. Yesterday, they arrived in the suburb of Kenner, a city with the most Hispanic residents in the state. Dozens of agents surrounded a home where an unidentified man was found on a roof waiting for officers to leave. The Trump administration has vowed to round up illegal immigrants accused of violent crimes. The Los Angeles doctor who prescribed ketamine to actor Matthew Perry in the weeks before his death has been sentenced to 2.5 years in federal prison. Salvador Plasencia will also serve 2 years probation. Earlier this year, he pleaded guilty to 4 felony counts and surrendered his medical license. He admitted that he illegally sold ketamine to Perry, even though he knew the actor was struggling with addiction. President Trump says he will pardon Texas Representative Henry Culler and his wife. The Democrat faced dozens of charges of bribery, money laundering, and conspiracy. Trump said the congressman had been punished by a weaponized Department of Justice under former President Biden for speaking out against the administration's border policy. 2 of Culler's advisors have already pled guilty to conspiring with him to launder more than $200,000 in bribes from a Mexican bank. A Detroit area Army veteran is turning into a viral sensation as strangers come forward to help him retire. And at 6:46, Fox 32 is proud to support iHeartMedia and Lurie Children's Radiothon for another year. This is your opportunity to make a donation to Lurie Children's Hospital. Your support helps fund research, support families, and provide much-needed care to children in our community. And you don't have to wait to donate. You can just text Lurie to 34984 or click the QR code right there on your screen. And then make sure you join us live next Thursday, the 11th, as we check in with the Radiothon as their phones start ringing. Hey, make sure you bundle up before you head outside this morning because we have dangerously cold temperatures.
Yes, we are starting out the day with single-digit temperatures and wind chills that are dipping well below zero. Warming centers are available throughout the Chicago area. Caitlin will have an update on just how long this cold, this bitter cold, is going to stick around.
And Chicago's Committee on License and Consumer Protection approves a ban on hemp sales in the city. It would shut down the sale of hemp-derived products that contain chemical compounds found in cannabis unless sold by licensed cannabis dispensaries. It now goes to the full city council for a vote.
Police in Rosemont are saying that surveillance footage shows that no one actually tampered with actress Tara Reid's drink at the Rosemont Doubletree Hotel bar. Detectives reviewed surveillance footage from the hotel bar. They also conducted multiple interviews. Police say the investigation is still ongoing. However, at this point, no one's actually being investigated.
And it's 6:50 now. Let's take a live look outside. It is beautiful out there, Caitlin, but you don't want to stick a finger out that window. It is so cold.
It is so cold, yes. Single digits, feeling like we could be below zero. It's going to be cold all day today. And tonight, I expect temperatures to be just as cold, if not colder, as we head into your Friday. So right now, it's 8 degrees outside. It's clear. So to Natalie's point, it will be a beautiful looking day. We have winds coming in out of the north-northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Quiet conditions, but chilly. Wind chills at 19 degrees below zero in Aurora right now, 4 degrees below zero at O'Hare, 7 degrees below zero at the lakefront. Northwest Indiana are warmer spots at 13 in Valpo and 15 at Michigan City. Make sure you layer it on up today. Futurecast will show the cold temperatures sticking around even through the afternoon, with highs only reaching the upper teens to low 20s. A few clouds out there, especially from Chicago Point southeast, but overall a quiet day outside of the cold. As we head into this evening, 7 o'clock, and temperatures are back down to below zero, actual temperatures in our western areas. And then we get into tonight, and that's when we're going to have that 15 to 20 degree below zero wind chill again as we head on into your Friday morning. 6 a.m. temperatures tomorrow starting off in the single digits for most. And then by lunchtime, back to the low to mid 20s. So tomorrow's going to be a little warmer. More clouds in the forecast. Then we have the chance for some snow Friday night into early Saturday, especially north of the city. This weekend, it is going to be a little more on the mild side, but we have more snow on the way. Saturday night, Sunday night, the chance for some light snow. Temperatures in the upper 20s and low 30s this weekend. Starting off next week, Monday with dry skies and 24 with the chance for snow back on Tuesday. Gabby.
Caitlin, we have Skyfox over still northbound I-55. This is over kind of the Bolingbrook area. This is that crash I was talking about northbound near Weber Road. We had an earlier one involving a rolled over vehicle near Veterans Parkway, but they're still blocking 2 left lanes. They were blocking actually also that right center lane as well just a moment ago to make sure that the responders had some room. But know that there's major delays. Also a secondary crash south of this that's a little less serious, and it's just over on the right shoulder, but still making people, step on those brakes a little bit. So please be careful out there. Some areas might be slick, especially in your neighborhood, some of those untreated roads that are now frozen. Now that delay that we just saw, that's not part of our number right here because it's before 355, but from 355 all the way into the city on the Stevenson, it's 45 minutes for inbound trip, 30 minutes on the Dan Ryan, 40 minutes on the Eisenhower, 45 minutes on the Kennedy. I want to quickly talk about the South Shore line coming from Northwest Indiana, because we have some problems. Some eastbound trains, they were canceled this morning due to power issues. That included 201 more recently. And then westbound trains number 102, 110, and 112 have been canceled. 114 is going to accommodate some passengers. We put a note out to South Shore Line to see if they can let us know some more information about all this. So I'll keep you updated on that. I'll send it back to you.
All right. Thank you, Gabby. Appreciate it. It's 6:53. Illinois Secretary of State Alexi Janulius is trying to make it easier for residents to get their real ID. This week, the TSA announced that it would increase the penalty for those at the airport without one. It's going to go up from $18 to $45, and that fee goes into effect starting February 1st. Officials say the goal here is simply to ensure that everyone is ready before the real ID becomes mandatory in 2027. The state is now adding more cashiers to real ID sites, also launching a partnership with the Cook County Clerk's Office to help people get the documents that they need.
This partnership means a designated cashier for Real ID related requests, updating the appointment system to designate Real ID specific appointments, and adding phone and email support to help customers directly. This is what we call reducing the time tax. We're cutting red tape, saving people time, and helping them avoid surprise fees. This is government working better for you. So please, don't wait. Get your Real ID today and avoid the expensive and unnecessary federal upcharge.
If you don't have a Real ID yet, you can set up an appointment with the DMV.
There's a massive recall this morning for cheese sold in both Illinois and Indiana. The recall impacts more than 1.5 million bags of shredded cheese because they may contain metal fragments. They were manufactured by Great Lakes Cheese Company and sold under various store brands, including Borden, Great Value, and Lucerne. Big retailers like Walmart, Target, and Aldi are impacted. The recall includes mozzarella, pizza style, and provolone cheeses with sell-by dates from January to March 2026. So far, luckily, no injuries reported.
All right, good news for Bad Bunny. Spotify says the rapper is the most streamed artist globally for 2025. Coming in at number 2, no surprise here, that's Taylor Swift. She had been number 1 the past 2 years. She remains number 1 here in America. Bad Bunny has the number 1 album overall, though. At number 2, the soundtrack to the movie K-pop Demon Hunters. Yeah.
No surprise there.
No surprise there.
A Detroit area Army veteran is turning into a viral sensation. This is such a great story. 88-year-old Ed Bombas works at the Meijer in Brighton 5 days a week. Again, he's 88. He retired from General Motors in 1999. But he says after the company's bankruptcy, his pension was reduced to $300 a month. Then his wife's illness and death wiped out his savings. A couple of social media influencers heard about his situation, paid him a visit, and started a GoFundMe. To kick it off, one of them gave Bombas a tip of $400. And that GoFundMe has since raised more than $1 million.
Wow.
I get $300 out of that pension money. That's all. I didn't have enough money to survive.
Inspiring for me personally to see his story and see what he does every day. I think everyone around the world is kind of seeing the same thing now.
Ed says he hopes to use the donations to live the life he was hoping for at 88.
That's so great.
I love, influencers get a bad rap.
You're right.
In this case, I will say, use the influence for good, right?
Exactly. Totally. Wow.
Plenty more Good Day Chicago ahead. Keep it right here. AT&T has revealed plans to end its DEI programs as the company seeks approval from the Federal Communications Commission for a major purchase. Last year, AT&T agreed to buy some wireless spectrum assets from U.S. Cellular for $1.2 billion. The deal does need FCC approval. In order to get it, they have to ditch the DEI programs per a requirement from the Trump administration. Earlier this year, T-Mobile and Verizon made similar moves.
The government shutdown apparently cost at least one U.S. airline hundreds of millions of dollars. The CEO for Delta told investors the shutdown cost his company about $200 million. He says refunds grew significantly as bookings slowed during the shutdown, but says the effects are in the past.
Macy's says a plan implemented to help with struggling sales is proving successful. The company says sales have now reached the highest level in more than 3 years. The plan included closing underperforming locations, investing in the shopping experience at open stores, and catching up in the luxury market.
Good Day Chicago at 7 starts now.
And right now at 7 o'clock, frigid start to the morning with wind chills. They are well below zero here at 7 a.m.
An ordinance to ban hemp products in Chicago is moving forward.
And Rosemont police are giving an update on the investigation into actress Tara Reid's claim that she was drugged while at a hotel there. We'll get to all that. We thank you for joining us here at 7 o'clock and check in without further ado with Caitlin Cody. Boy, it is bitter outside.
Yeah, don't do what I did and don't wear a t-shirt today. Whatever you guys are doing. Yeah. I'm like, oh man, I should have wore a sweater. It is very cold outside. Temperatures feeling like they could be below zero, although we are going to have beautiful sunshine to look forward to. That's the silver lining. But yeah, temperatures are going to be lacking today. Starting off, it is 7 degrees outside. We have a northwest breeze at 5 to 10 miles per hour. The temperatures are going to be down below zero for the feel-like temperature through the morning for many of us. Actual temperature below zero just for a few, like at Woodstock, it's 2 degrees below zero, 4 degrees below zero in Aurora, 6 at the lakefront, 10 in Gary, 20 in Valpo. Feel-like temperature, though, 18 degrees below zero from Aurora to 6 degrees below zero at O'Hare, 7 degrees below zero at the lakefront. So dangerously cold this morning. But even this afternoon, temperatures are only going to be reaching the upper teens to low 20s as our actual high. And the feel-like temperature behind me, you can see reaching around 10 to 12 for us in Chicago, down to below zero again by this evening. So a very cold day in front of us. We have a few rounds of snow as we work our way into the weekend. A full check of your forecast is ahead for so. Oh boy, Gabby, what is going on?
The trouble spot is northbound I-55 near like Bolingbrook, Plainfield. You're going to experience a lot of traffic because we had a couple of crashes that kind of happened back to back. Now that one I was just showing you, northbound I-55 at Weber Road, that has cleared. Everything's off the left side there because it was blocking a left lane and the left shoulder at least. But still, we're seeing a lot of traffic as you approach that area. And we had one south of that as well. So traffic starting around Renwick Road to Weber Road, really. Add another 20 minutes to your trip before you hit 355 and head into the city. Let's talk about some of those drive times. If you are headed in, we still at 35 minutes on the Dan Ryan from 95th to the Burton interchange. On the Stevenson from 355 to DuSable Lakeshore Drive, 45 minutes. 45 minutes as well on the Eisenhower. We're at 40 minutes on the Kennedy from O'Hare to downtown. Remember, a note for you, South Shore lines, they're running, all trains are running around 30 to 60 minutes behind. It's due to some power issues that are going on. We put a note out to South Shore line to see if we can get some more information on that. The trains, they do not like the cold. I'll send it back to you.
Okay, thank you, Gabby. Appreciate it. Temperatures, as mentioned, yes, dangerously low today as people make their way to work.
Roseanne is live with more on ways to keep warm. Hi, Roseanne.
Good morning. We're out in Western Springs this morning at the Metro station, and this winter wonderland may warm your heart, but the temperatures are going to chill you to the bone. Just 2 degrees here now, but it feels a lot colder. It feels more like -5 with the wind chill out here. It is pretty much the same story all around the Chicago area, as you've heard Caitlin say. If you are going to be walking or taking the train or bus, it's dangerously cold. Layering is the advice most people are sharing this morning. I'd add to that, watch out for all the ice. This cold is a bit early this year. The normal high is 40 degrees, Caitlin says, but people here in Western Springs are pulling out the big coats and taking it in stride.
Weather's a little bit colder than it should be for this, for the state. But we've had some mild winters, so I kind of was expecting something of this caliber.
Beautiful Chicago weather. Nothing, you'd have to expect this in December, Western Springs, Illinois.
And you are prepared, I see. You've got a warm beverage and a nice hat.
We're ready to go, so and we're ready for the weekend. Layers, hats, and gloves. So good luck to everybody today in Fox Chicago.
And we do want to tell those Chicago viewers about the warming centers that are available around the city at the following community service centers: Inglewood, Garfield, Martin Luther King, North area, the South Chicago area, and Trina Davila. Other options include city colleges, senior centers, libraries, and police stations. All places where you can dip in and warm up. You can call 311 to find the location nearest you. Well, the sun is coming up now. Don't let it fool you, everybody. You're in for a cold day. Back to you now in the studio.
Thank you, Roseanne. You always find the nicest people out there, though.
That's right.
I will say. Thank you, Roseanne, again. Well, in the meantime, a woman is charged in connection to the shooting death of a 31-year-old mother after she dropped her son off at school. Happened on September 8th near Cermak Road and State Street. According to police, Romika Blackman had just said goodbye to her son when moments later she was shot in the face during a fight outside his school. The suspect has now been identified as Quadasia Holly Johnson. Our own Tia Ewing reports the two women share children with the same man, who was also at the scene of the shooting. Johnson was initially taken into custody, but then released shortly afterwards. She'll be in court later this morning.
Chicago Public Schools has agreed to the largest school sex abuse settlement in Illinois history at $17.5 million. Attorneys for the victim in this case, only known as Jane Doe, say that former CPS Dean of Students Brian Crowder sexually abused the girl during her junior and senior years at Social Justice High School. This was between 2015 and 2016. The former student alleges that Crowder even posed as her stepfather and signed a consent form to get her abortions. Crowder was found guilty of sexual abuse and was sentenced to 22 years in prison back in August.
The Trump administration is being sued over a controversial South Shore apartment raid. A national group wants the White House to release video from that September operation. The Department of Homeland Security later posted a dramatic clip of the arrests, saying about 36 undocumented immigrants were detained, some believed to be tied to drug or weapons charges.
A man pleads guilty to an attack on Jewish students at DePaul University last year. There he is, Adam Erkin. He was sentenced to 2 years probation along with 100 hours of community service. The 20-year-old was originally facing 7 felonies, including 4 hate crime charges in this attack, but reached a misdemeanor plea agreement last month. Prosecutors say the 2 Jewish students were peacefully advocating for Israel. Both men were seriously injured.
An investigation is underway after a woman was hit and killed by a CTA bus. It happened yesterday on South Shore Drive. A bus started moving after a stop when a witness tells us that a 42-year-old woman started running after the bus. Police say she slipped and was run over, but the driver reportedly kept going.
When I say I was traumatized initially because I was driving, and then I just looked to the side and I see the woman laying there, and then I saw like 4 people starting to crouch down to try to help her.
When an accident like this does happen, the bus driver is pulled off the job immediately and tested for drugs and alcohol.
Chicago's Committee on License and Consumer Protection has approved a ban on hemp sales here in Chicago. This is ahead of a federal ban on hemp products set to take effect next November. If it is adopted by the Chicago Full Council, the citywide ban would shut down the sale of hemp-derived products that contain chemical compounds that are found in cannabis unless they are sold by licensed cannabis dispensaries. And those who spoke out against the ordinance say an outright ban would crush mom-and-pop businesses across the city that sell hemp products.
Passing that measure has resulted in a reduction in the number of poisoned children and 911 calls. There has been talk about how the city can profit from these dangerous narcotics, but public health is not for sale.
Prohibition does not erase the market. Prohibition does not erase that customer. It's still there. Instead, you put it all to the side. You encourage those bad actors that you are trying to remove. You're enabling them when we need to regulate the beverages that we already have in the market that we already have.
This ordinance is now off to the full council for a vote in the coming weeks.
New details in the airstrike on an alleged drug boat that has Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth under increasing scrutiny. The AP is reporting the Pentagon knew there were survivors in the Caribbean, but still launched a follow-up strike, a possible violation of the laws of armed conflict. Today, Admiral Frank Bradley, who has been blamed for the second strike, will testify during a classified congressional briefing.
House Democrats have released newly discovered photos and videos from Jeffrey Epstein's private island. Lawmakers are using the new images to put a little more pressure on U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi to follow the law requiring the Justice Department to release all the Epstein files by December 19th. A bipartisan group is also now demanding a briefing from Bondi by Friday on whether the DOJ is going to be able to meet that deadline and what new evidence might be in those files.
Police in Rosemont giving an update on the investigation into actress Tara Reid's claims that she was drugged at a hotel. Police say surveillance footage shows no one tampered with her drink at the Rosemont DoubleTree Hotel bar. Detectives reviewed surveillance footage from the hotel bar and conducted multiple interviews. The footage does show Reid at the bar and a bartender covering her drink when she left. Rosemont police say the investigation is still ongoing. However, no one is being investigated.
All right, we're taking a live look outside at 10 after 7 o'clock on your frigid Thursday morning. You kind of feel the frigid temperatures just radiating off the television screen this morning. It is cold out there, Caitlin.
It is.
No bueno.
Yes, wind chills feel like temperatures below zero.
Yeah.
It is going to be dangerously cold this morning and even this afternoon. Actual temperatures only reaching the upper teens and low 20s. So a very cold Thursday ahead. But you saw from that live shot and behind me, it's beautiful. We do have sunshine in the forecast today, as long as you're dressed the right way. Right now, it feels like 4 degrees at the lakefront. This is what we're looking at is the wind chill. Feels like 18 degrees below zero in Aurora, 15 degrees below zero in DeKalb. Northwest Indiana temperatures feel like you could be around 12 in Valpo, 14 in Michigan City as our warm spots on the map. But during the day today, it's going to be cold all day long. Let's take you through your day with the wind chill. So timeline-wise, this is 5 p.m. Notice it still feels like we could be around 5 at the lakefront, 7 degrees below zero in DeKalb and Woodstock. Then we get into tonight and tomorrow morning, and we could actually see these numbers even lower. So starting off your Friday, this is midnight, and it still feels like we could be around 15 to 20 degrees below zero as we work our way through the day. 7 a.m. Friday, temperatures still feeling like we could be around 2 degrees below zero at O'Hare. But as we reach our peak in the day, 4 p.m., it's going to feel like we could be around 17, which is better than today because, again, today we could be feeling around 10 to 12 at our peak. And then as we work our way into Saturday, a little bit better to start off the day feeling like 12. High pressure is in control. Again, we are going to have sunshine today, but tomorrow building clouds, and then we have the chance for a little bit of light snow tomorrow night. 7-day forecast, it's the weekend right around the corner. A high of about 31 degrees on Saturday. And then Saturday night into early Sunday, we have the chance for some light snow around. Sunday's high right around 27 degrees. Starting off next week, dry at 24 Monday. Chance for snow is back on Tuesday with 35 as our high. And then a rain snow mix possible Wednesday as highs push back to the upper 30s. We should be at about 40 degrees instead of 19. So for today, again, if you could limit your exposure outside, I encourage you to do that. If you are going to be outdoors, at least we're going to have the sunshine and temperatures will be improving over the next couple of days. Back to you.
Okay, that's good to hear. Caitlin, thank you so much. 7:12. President Trump is turning his focus to Somali immigrants in Minnesota. We're about to check in with our sister station in Minneapolis after ICE operations were reported there yesterday.
Let's
Hey, welcome back. We want to remind you to bundle up before you head outside this morning because we have dangerously cold temperatures.
Yeah, starting out Thursday here with single-digit temperatures and wind chills dipping well below zero. So warming centers, they're going to be available throughout Chicago and the Chicago area. Caitlin's going to have an update on just how long this cold, the bitter stuff, is sticking around in just a moment.
Chicago's Committee on License and Consumer Protection approves a ban on hemp sales in the city. It would shut down the sale of hemp-derived products that contain chemical compounds found in cannabis unless sold by a licensed cannabis dispensary. That now goes to the full city council for a vote.
Police in Rosemont say surveillance footage shows no one tampered with actress Tara Reid's drink at the Rosemont Doubletree Hotel bar. Detectives reviewed surveillance footage from the hotel bar and conducted multiple interviews. Police say the investigation is still ongoing, but at this point, no one's being investigated. A Pentagon watchdog group finds Secretary of War Pete Hegseth put U.S. personnel at risk by using Signal to share details about a strike against militants in Yemen. The report accuses the secretary of violating policy by using his personal device during that military attack back in March. The Signal chat, which involved top White House officials, also accidentally included a reporter.
New this morning, the New York Times is suing the Pentagon over restrictions for journalists. Those rules limited access and included possible punishments for requesting information. They were enacted in October and led to several journalists handing in their press passes in a sign of protest. The lawsuit claims the Pentagon is closing doors that have historically been open to the press. The Times says these types of restrictions have been recognized by the Supreme Court as First Amendment violations.
Meantime, federal agents are now cracking down on immigration in New Orleans. Yesterday, they arrived in the suburb of Kenner. That is a suburb with the most Hispanic residents in the state of Louisiana. Dozens of agents at one point surrounded a house where an unidentified man was found on top of a roof. He was up there waiting for officers to leave. The Trump administration has vowed to round up illegal immigrants accused of violent crimes. 7:18, time to send things over to Caitlin. As the sun comes up, it's at least going to be sunny out there today, right, Caitlin?
At least it's going to be sunny. You know, if you're inside, you could sit by a window and have that beautiful sunshine streaming into your home or your office. But it's cold outside, so try to avoid exposure if you can to the elements because wind chills are going to be below zero this morning and this afternoon, hardly climbing out of the single digits. Right now, it feels like 6 degrees below zero at O'Hare and 18 degrees below zero is the wind chill in Aurora. 12 in Valpo, 14 in Michigan City. So some of us in Northwest Indiana a little bit better, but 15 degrees below zero is what it feels like in DeKalb. Highs today only reaching the upper teens and low 20s. I see 11 even expected to be the high in DeKalb, 13 at LaSalle. I'm going 19 at O'Hare. And over the next 12 hours, these wind chills, as mentioned, hardly climbing out of the single digits for us in Chicago. Right around 12 as our feel-like temperature later on today with that sunshine. And then tonight, it is going to be another very cold night with actual temperatures dropping below zero for western areas. In Chicago, right around 5 to 10 degrees. But it's going to feel like we could be again down to that 15 to 20 degrees below zero to start off your Friday. During the afternoon, highs on Friday will be around 30 with a few clouds building and a small chance for some light snow at night, especially north of the city into early Saturday. Wind chills, though, on Friday still going to be cold. Around 20 in the afternoon is what it's going to feel like. 7-day outlook, temperatures back to about 31 degrees Saturday. Chance for snow back Saturday night into early Sunday. Sunday's high 27. Next week, starting off very cold at 24, but dry on Monday. Chance for snow is back Monday night and Tuesday. 35 is our high Tuesday with a rain snow mix possible Wednesday as highs approach the upper 30s. It is 7:20. Checking in now with Gabby. What's the latest with traffic, Gabs?
Caitlin, like I said, the trains don't really like the cold, so we're dealing with some train trouble. First, starting with Metra, North Central Service and Milwaukee District West. Those two lines are experiencing some signal issues, so know that there might be some delays there. But also, we're still talking about the South Shore line. Now, they're saying that trains are running up to 30 to 60 minutes behind. It's due to power issues, specifically impacting one station. We were reached out to South Shore Line for some more information. Hopefully we can get that, but just know it's going to cause a hitch in your trip. If you are coming a little closer to the city and you're driving in on the Dan Ryan, it's going to take you 35 minutes from 95th to the Burn interchange. Around a 5-minute delay on I-57 in the Bishop Ford as you approach 95th. Our problem area is clearing up. It was northbound I-35 near Plainfield, Bolingbrook area where we saw some of that residual delay due to some crashes. But if you're a little closer, 52 minutes from 355 to DuSable Lakeshore Drive on the Stevenson. An hour on the Eisenhower. No crashes there. Just a lot of early morning delays. 50 minutes on the Kennedy from O'Hare to downtown. Outbound, 35 minutes. You see that traffic past the junction. I'll send it back to you, Nat.
Thank you, Gabby. Plenty more to come for you here on Good Day Chicago. A new debate over newborn care, the discussion the CDC is having over the hepatitis B vaccine. The doctor who supplied actor Matthew Perry with ketamine learns his fate in court. And Santa is getting reindeer ready for Christmas, but you don't have to wait to catch a glimpse of them. In our 8 o'clock hour, our own little elf on the shelf, Jake Hamilton live at Whispering Pines Reindeer Ranch. We'll be right back. .24 now, live look at our great city, but it is a cold one today. One of the coldest we've experienced so far this winter. How old is winter?
Oh, it's young.
It's young,
It's
a couple
young.
days old.
I know, we're already off to quite the start. All right, we'll check in with Caitlin in just a moment. First, some headlines we're following. Illinois Secretary of State Alexi Giannulli is trying to make it a little easier for residents to get their hands on that real ID. This week, the TSA announced it would increase the penalty for those at the airport without one from $18 up to $45. That fee goes into effect starting February 1st. Officials say the goal here is simply to help ensure everyone is ready before the Real ID becomes mandatory in 2027. The state is now adding more cashiers to Real ID sites and also launching a partnership with the Cook County Clerk's Office to help people round up the documents they need to get one.
This partnership means a designated cashier for Real ID related requests, updating the appointment system to designate Real ID specific appointments, and adding phone and email support to help customers directly. This is what we call reducing the time tax. We're cutting red tape, saving people time, and helping them avoid surprise fees. This is government working better for you. So please, don't wait. Get your Real ID today and avoid the expensive and unnecessary federal upcharge.
If you don't have your Real ID yet, you can set up an appointment with the DMV.
President Trump is announcing a plan to loosen fuel restrictions or regulations. A proposal will reduce fuel economy requirements, rolling back standards raised under the Biden administration. The new standards are more lenient on miles per gallon targets.
The Department of Transportation will rescind the Biden fuel economy prices, and I hate to say that because they were really not economy. They were really they were anti-economy. They were horrible what they were doing.
President Trump says the changes will help consumers save $1,000 on car purchases.
All right, let's send things over to Caitlin Cody for another update. At least the sun is coming up. I don't know if that's going to do much to warm things up, though, huh, Caitlin?
Not much. 7 degrees outside at the lakefront and O'Hare right now. The actual temperature, 7 degrees. Some of us below 0, but it will be a beautiful day. Outside of the cold temperatures, a quiet forecast for our Thursday. A full check of the weather is coming up.
Welcome back to Good Day Chicago. It is now 7:29.
Yes, we appreciate you joining us this morning. Here's a look at some of the headlines we're following. The New York Times is going to be suing the Pentagon, company claiming the Defense Department and their new reporting restrictions are violations of the First Amendment. Now, new rules went into effect in October, which require journalists to sign a pledge that they will not obtain unauthorized material.
Lawmakers in Washington will hold a hearing today on the U.S. attack on an alleged Venezuelan drug boat. There have been a number of strikes in recent weeks, but it's one on September 2nd that's now under scrutiny. A first attack largely destroys the boat, but then after survivors are seen clinging to wreckage, they are killed in a second strike.
Somali American leaders, they are reacting to comments made by President Trump. His reference to, quote, taking in garbage comes amid a crackdown on Somali immigrants in Minnesota. Officials in the Twin Cities say they are bracing for as many as 100 federal agents to be deployed there, with Minneapolis being home to the largest Somali American population in the country. And this morning, we are waking up to some brutally cold temperatures.
Roseanne is braving the elements for us and speaking with commuters, and they have been so kind so far, Roseanne, despite the weather.
Yes, willing to stop and chat with us, right? Well, the skies are blue, the sun is shining. How bad could it be, right? Bad. It is frigid outside, just 2 degrees here in Western Springs, but it feels more like -5 this morning. It is the same story all over the Chicago area today. It's dangerous for anybody, but particularly if you're going to be walking or you have to walk to the train or the bus to get to work today. Not only do you have to worry about thoroughly bundling up, but you also need to be aware of the snow on the ground. Now it's all solid ice. Some people say they knew these frigid temperatures were coming. They just didn't expect them so early in the season. Hey, how are you dealing with the cold?
You know, I got my warm coffee and my fingers are freezing right now, but it's fine. My train's coming, so it'll be over soon.
It'll be over soon. And how about you? I see you got the pooch out. How are they doing?
Her paws are a little cold from the salt, but she's okay. We just like to walk Kate to the train every morning. So
when I sit up to walk me here every morning, and here comes my train.
Even in the cold.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. At least she's alone. She doesn't like trains. Sorry, she hates trains.
Okay. Oh, we had a little dust up there with Carly. She doesn't like trains, apparently, that pooch. We want to give you a quick heads up about warming centers in the Chicago area. They're at community service centers in Inglewood, Garfield, Martin Luther King, North area, South Chicago, and Trina Davila. Other options, though, if you need to dip in somewhere and warm up, is to go to a public library, a senior center, or a police station. And you can call 311 if you need to find a location nearest you. Natalie, earlier you were giving a shout out to all of the people who have to work out in the cold today. So I want to give a shout out to photographer Vic and all the TV news photographers out there, because they have to stand there and shoot a camera. Like my fingers stop working after a couple of minutes, in this freezing cold. Back to you guys now in the studio.
Heroes work out there. Roseanne, thank you so much for the update. Caitlin, yeah, your heart goes out to all the folks who have to work outside on a day like today, and that sun, while beautiful, not doing much to improve the situation.
Dangerously cold out there, yes, this morning, even this afternoon. It will look good, but the temperatures are going to be cold. Single digits expected, as that feel like temperature perhaps reaching 10 to 12 degrees. Either way, I encourage you to limit your exposure if you can. Those wind chills below 0 this morning. Teens as our actual high temperature today. And we do have a few chances for snow as we work our way through the rest of the week into the weekend. Temperatures outside right now at 7 degrees at the lakefront and O'Hare, 4 degrees below 0 in Aurora. Northwest Indiana, temperatures for you are in the teens to low 20s currently, but the wind chill is below 0, down to 18 degrees below 0 right now in Aurora for that feel like temperature. 6 degrees below 0 at the lakefront and O'Hare, 2 degrees below 0, and Gary is what it feels like. So let's talk about this wind chill, the feel like temperature through the rest of the day today, because as mentioned later on today, as temperatures approach the upper teens and low 20s, it's going to feel like we could be around 11 or 12 degrees in Chicago, staying below 0 though for western counties. And by 5 p.m., still the wind chill is 7 degrees below 0 in DeKalb as well as Woodstock, 5 at the lakefront. So dangerously cold again tonight, dropping down to that 15 to 20 degree below 0 mark for that wind chill. That continues into early Friday. This is 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, feeling like 0 at the lakefront. Now, in the afternoon, temperatures are going to be improving. It's still going to feel like we could be in the upper teens. But remember, that's going to be our actual high today. Then we work our way into this weekend, and temperatures will be more mild, but we do have the chance for a little bit of snow Friday night. And then again, Saturday night into early Sunday. We have a couple photos to share with you. This first one is a woodpecker getting a little snack, looking for cracked sunflowers. Thank you, George, for uploading this photo. What a beautiful woodpecker. Aren't they cool creatures? And that is a really nice bird feeder. I want one of those. All right, our next picture This one cracks me up a little bit. Okay, so this is the Dunes State Park. Bison loves the snow, says Kathy. And you know what's funny, Kathy, is I was literally just thinking how lovely it would be to go for a hike at the dunes, even though not today because it's going to be too cold. But even though we do have the snow still on the ground in those woods, I'm sure you just had the best day filling your cup with nature. And then we have one more photo to share. Look at this little guy.
Aw.
This guy's name is Bing. I feel like that's appropriate. And Bing, you don't even look like a doggy. I love you. I'm obsessed with you. It looks almost like...
Oh, little reindeer Bing.
Little Bing.
Yeah,
he looks like a stuffy. A stuffy, as my girls
Really
would say.
does.
Travis, thank you for uploading Little Bing. Ready for Christmas. That hat is too much. Okay, guys, we want to see your photos. Upload them, and you might get a shout out live on air. Antho.
All right, Caitlin, thank you so much. Here is a look at your drive times before we head to break here. There is an accident on northbound I-57, nowhere close to what we saw yesterday, but one of the lanes is blocked northbound. So expect a slowdown just northeast of Robbins, Illinois. Heads up there. 59 minutes inbound on the Kennedy from O'Hare to downtown. You're at more than an hour on both the Eisenhower and Stevenson inbound. And if you're coming in on the Dan Ryan, your drive time between 95th and downtown is at 35 minutes. We'll be right back.
And most of those people, they have destroyed Minnesota, okay? Minnesota, you have an incompetent governor. You have a crooked governor. He's crooked as hell, but he's incompetent. Walz he should be ashamed. That beautiful land, that beautiful state, it's a hellhole right now. And the Somalians should be out of here. They've destroyed our country.
For the second day in a row, President Trump speaks out against Minnesota's Somali community. The president's words have many immigrants and their families saddened and scared there.
Chenu Her is with our sister station up in the Twin Cities with more on how the Somali community is responding. Chenu.
Hey, good morning, guys. You know, for the last couple days, we have been speaking to many community leaders here in Minnesota, here in Minneapolis, and they're not backing down. They're continuing to stand together to speak out and denounce the rhetoric here from President Trump and the messages that he has been putting out, and also standing up against these ramped up ICE operations here in Minnesota. Many of the Somali immigrants here in our state, though, keep in mind, are here legally. They are U.S. citizens. So the community advocates that we have to talk to, they say the president's rhetoric is quite frankly dangerous to the community.
What President Trump and most of the public who are attacking our community is not aware of is the success of this great community. And I believe personally that is why we're being targeted, and that's why we're being attacked.
Now, standing alongside community leaders like that man there are business owners and also elected officials here in Minnesota.
We had a hard time for our business, even as you see, no one is entering the mall. So we devastated really what our president is doing.
Yeah, that woman there, she's a business owner inside a Somali mall in Minneapolis that we talked to this week. And because of these ICE operations, many of the local leaders and officials, they're advising Somalis here in Minnesota to carry their passports, any proof of citizenship or other documentation, just in case they are stopped when they are out in public. So happening today, we're going to continue to see more of these groups gathering to show their support. We know religious and faith leaders from all different religions are coming together today in Minneapolis to rally and speak out against President Trump's rhetoric, and again to show their support for the Somali community here in Minnesota. Guys.
All right, Chenu, thank you for that report from the Twin Cities. Appreciate it, sir.
At 7:42, new details in the airstrike on an alleged drug boat that has Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth under increased scrutiny. The AP is reporting the Pentagon knew there were survivors in the Caribbean, but still launched a follow-up strike. That's a possible violation of the laws of armed conflict. Today, Admiral Frank Bradley, who has been blamed for the second strike, will testify during a classified congressional briefing.
House Democrats have released newly discovered photos and videos from Jeffrey Epstein's private island. Lawmakers are using these new images to put pressure on U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi to follow the law requiring the Justice Department to release all the Epstein files by December 19th. A bipartisan group is also now demanding a briefing from Bondi by Friday on whether the DOJ can meet that deadline and what new evidence might be in the files.
Video shows the moment a fighter jet crashes in California. The U.S. Air Force says a Thunderbird jet crashed during a training mission. You can see, though, thank goodness the pilot was able to safely eject from the aircraft. He is not hurt. There was also no damage to any property. The cause is still being investigated.
A group of advisors to the CDC, handpicked by Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., going to be voting this week on whether the agency should scrap its long-standing recommendation that every baby, every newborn, get a hepatitis B vaccination within 24 hours of birth. The shot is widely credited with driving down infections in kids by 99%. The committee is set to meet today and again tomorrow, and they will make their recommendation to Kennedy, who will choose whether or not to adopt those recommendations.
We have a massive recall this morning to tell you about for cheese sold in both Illinois and Indiana. The recall impacts more than 1.5 million bags of shredded cheese because they may contain metal fragments. They were manufactured by Great Lakes Cheese Company and sold under various store brands like Borden, Great Value, Good and Gather, and Lucerne. Big retailers like Walmart, Target, and Aldi are all impacted. The recall includes mozzarella, pizza style, and provolone cheeses with sell-by dates from January to March 2026. So far, no injuries are reported. We've got a lot coming up for you here on Good Day Chicago. Here's a look at what is coming your way at 8 and 9. Keep it right here.
Selling your
747, Rosemont police now say surveillance evidence does not show anyone tampering with actress Tara Reid's drink when she was staying at the DoubleTree Hotel.
Reid claims someone drugged her when she left her drink alone at the bar. Now, the footage does show a bartender covering her drink with a napkin after she left, but nothing beyond that.
Federal prosecutors moving to drop charges against the manager of the Chicago Laugh Factory. Nathan Griffin charged with forcibly assaulting and interfering with a federal agent for allegedly shutting a car door on an immigration agent's leg. But Griffin's attorneys claim it didn't happen.
Bundle up, everybody. Chicago seeing dangerously cold temperatures this morning. Coldest air of the season so far. Starting out in the single digits. Wind chills well below zero. So warming centers are now open throughout the area.
And we'll give you a live look outside at 7:48 here. The sun is shining. You know, I was thinking, how cold could it get if the sun wasn't shining today?
Oh, man.
Caitlin?
Well, you know, the clear skies actually add to the cold.
They do.
At night especially. During the day, of course not. But at night, that's why temperatures are as cold as they have been, especially west of the city versus northwest Indiana, where it's a little more cloudy. Right now, it feels like 9 degrees below zero at the lakefront, 6 degrees below zero at O'Hare, 18 degrees below zero in Aurora. Temperatures in northwest Indiana are warm spots, as in Michigan City and Valpo, where temperatures are at 12 to 14 for the wind chill. Now, today, it is going to be a cold day. Don't get me wrong. It will be beautiful. But the highs are only going to be right around 19 degrees. Typical high, normal high, 40. So we should be at 41 degrees. Instead, we're half that. So it is going to be a cold afternoon, feeling like we could be around 10 to 12 at that peak heating of the day. But it will be a sunny and quiet day. Temperatures tonight dropping down to below zero for that wind chill yet again. Lows tonight dropping below zero west of the city. Aurora, DeKalb, Morris, you could be down to 4 degrees below zero. I expect to be right around 5 at O'Hare, 9 at the lakefront. And then tomorrow, another cold day. Highs only reaching around 30 degrees. And the feel-like temperature tomorrow will be in the upper teens. But it's going to be a touch more cloudy. And then we have the chance for a little bit of light snow Friday night. Saturday, right around 31 degrees with dry skies before the chance for snow is back Saturday night into early Sunday. Sunday's high 27 and then 24 with dry skies expected on Monday. Tuesday, the chance for snow is back. Monday night into Tuesday. 35 is our high Tuesday, and then a mix of rain and snow expected Wednesday with a high of 36. Anthony, what's the latest with traffic?
Okay, well, we have been tracking delays and cancellations on the South Shore line all morning, ever since about 4:30. We just learned that all South Shore train service is now stopped because of some kind of wire issue. It's around Hegwish. No timeline yet for service to be restored. So anyone planning on using the South Shore line, heads up there. You're going to have to find a different way in and out of the city. Also, the Milwaukee District West is facing problems as well. Switch problems, as Gabby's been talking about. Trains don't like this cold weather either. Right now, an inbound train is scheduled to depart Big Timber Road in Elgin at 7:26. That was 20 minutes ago. Finally on the move, but that thing is 20 minutes behind. So delays on the Milwaukee District West line as well. Here is a look at your drive times. The only accident to speak of is on northbound I-57. It's not nearly what we saw yesterday on that same stretch of road, but one of the left lanes is blocked. Let me give you an exact location here. It's right near Hazel Crest, just south of where it intersects with I-80. Okay, if you're coming in on the Kennedy right now, you're at 56 minutes between O'Hare and downtown. On the Eisenhower, you're at 66 minutes between Route 390 and downtown. Not much better on the Stevenson. You're at 64 minutes between I-355 and DuSable Lakeshore Drive. And on the Dan Ryan, things stacking up as well. 40 minutes between 95th and downtown.
State officials urging people to get that real ID after the TSA announced it's going to charge passengers flying without one of those or the passport.
That's right. You have to have one or the other. The agency originally planned an $18 penalty. However, they're kicking it up to $45. The agency says that fee helps cover the additional screening required when someone shows up to the airport without the real ID or without the passport. Alexi Janulius, Illinois Secretary of State, says his office is going to be adding more workers to the Real ID sites in an effort to make it even easier to get one.
This partnership means a designated cashier for Real ID related requests, updating the appointment system to designate Real ID specific appointments, and adding phone and email support to help customers directly. This is what we call reducing the time tax. We're cutting red tape, saving people time, and helping them avoid surprise fees. This is government working better for you. So please, don't wait. Get your Real ID today and avoid the expensive and unnecessary federal upcharge.
A Real ID will be mandatory starting in 2027. That penalty takes effect February 1st of next year.
O'Hare's having a great year. Flights are up 10%. That's the most out of any other major airport, but that success could spell trouble for expansion plans. Chicago plans to build a global terminal and other terminals over the next few years, and they'll have to close down Terminal 2 in order to make that happen. But with O'Hare being so busy, can they really afford to do that?
There's 43 gates there, so in that transition of building a new global terminal, we could end up with fewer gates than we have now as construction is underway, and that's tricky stuff at an airport where we're splitting from the seams already.
City planners are now considering changes to the $8 billion project. They had originally planned on building the global terminal first. United and American Airlines are paying for the bulk of the construction. They want it pushed up in time. Now the city wants to build one of the satellite terminals first.
CTA riders are hearing a new but familiar voice during their commutes. Chance the Rapper is partnering with CTA to play announcements at train stations across the city.
This is 79th.
Welcome to
Oh, I'm so jealous. I want to be that voice one day. No,
You know, maybe, Anthony, just hang around long enough.
Exactly. He sounds great over the intercom there. You can now hear 2 new recorded announcements featuring Chance the Rapper as part of the Enjoy the Ride new campaign between Chance and CTA. Chance will also be featured on 3 new CTA posters available for you to download online.
How fun.
Yeah.
There's buzz in Gurnee Mills after the village approved funding to fill the old Sears site. The village board has not announced which store will be replacing it, but it did say it's a popular, budget-friendly home goods retailer with locations in 27 sites. So we've narrowed it down. Officials went on to say the latest location opened this year in San Marco, Texas. The Chicago Tribune reports a smaller scale IKEA opened there in July. Board officials also said the company filling the vacancy began in 1942 as a mail order company, which IKEA did.
Do the math, okay? Get ready.
It's happening.
It's happening. Get ready, Gurnee, for those Swedish meatballs and grilled cheese sandwiches. You can get them for like 39 cents
that
while
was
you're
like
shopping.
the only incentive for my dad to go to IKEA with me.
The meatballs?
Oh, yeah. It's
They're
like,
good.
just find me in the cafe.
They're good. That's right. All right. Ravinia's Pavilion is being renovated this year, which means they are getting rid of a lot of pretty cool stuff, artifacts. Instead of throwing these things away, Ravinia is offering folks the chance to own a piece of Ravinia history. So now through Sunday, it's going to be auctioning off vintage seats, Chicago Symphony Orchestra musicians' mailbox. Look at that right there. That's where they got their mail during the summer months. And Ravinia also took wood from the stage to make new items like a conductor's table and rings.
If you buy a piece of Ravinia stage, you are buying a piece where Aretha Franklin stood, where Pitbull stood, Kygo, the Chicago Symphony, Yo-Yo Ma, Chicago, you know, all the greats. James Taylor was just here this last year, you know, who's graced the stage is pretty remarkable. And to own just a little piece of history and put it on your bookshelf or have that as a conversation piece, I think is priceless.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Totally agree there. All the money as well goes toward Ravinia's Setting the Stage campaign, which aims to revamp the indoor and outdoor venues before the big 125th anniversary of Ravinia Festival. That happens in 2029.
See, that's where your voice could be useful because you used to answer phones there.
I did. I was the call service representative there for a few summers there in college. Thank you for calling Ravinia. People thought I was a robot, actually, a couple times.
Did they?
They're like, are you an actual human? I said, yes, ma'am.
I think we need to work that back into the rotation somehow.
Hey, it was fun times. Okay, we got plenty more to get to here on Good Day Chicago during our 8 o'clock hour, so keep it right here. Bundle up, everybody. It's a cold one out there.
Nutcracker.
If you've got the cash, you could get your hands on one-of-a-kind. Is it pronounced Hermes? Hermes?
Hermes.
Hermes.
But you're asking the wrong person.
You don't know designer handbag? This is a wild.
Because I don't spend the money on those.
Story here, because we're talking about multi-millions. Okay, it was owned by the iconic Jane Birkin. Sotheby's is auctioning off the Birkin Voyageur bag in Abu Dhabi. Hermes gifted this thing to Birkin back in 2003, and she later personalized it with her own writings on the inside. The original was designed for the actor back in 1984. Its first prototype sold for more than $8 million over the summer. Sotheby's expects this bag, there it is right there, get a good look, $8 million, to do just as well at auction. So
people have too much money.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Indeed.
Rockefeller Center in New York City is shining after lighting up its Christmas tree. You guys, look at that. The 75-foot tree is a Norway spruce from upstate New York. It features 50,000 LED lights along with the iconic Swarovski star on top.
Good Day Chicago at 8 starts now.
And we've got a weather alert right now at 8 o'clock. An Arctic blast sweeps through Chicagoland, bringing dangerous conditions with it. Our team is tracking how long the cold will last.
Somali American leaders, they are responding to President Trump's recent comments, referring to them as, quote, garbage, and the possibility of a new immigration crackdown.
And the Chicago Police Department is here to explain how getting guns off the street will put money in your pocket this weekend.
All right, before we get to those stories, let's check in with Caitlin to see just how long this bitter cold is going to be sticking around here.
Today and tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, and then tomorrow, temperatures slowly improve. In the morning, not so much, but by the afternoon, you're going to feel the difference as temperatures finally push back to the upper 20s. But we should be at 40, okay? And today, we're going to be in the upper teens. Right now, 4 is the actual temperature at the lakefront. So what you're looking at now are the temperatures, not the wind chill, but what it is outside. 1 degree below 0 in Aurora, 3 degrees below 0 at Woodstock, Northwest Indiana, 14 in Valpo, 10 in Gary. The feel-like temperatures, though, are below 0 for most of us. 6 degrees below 0 is what it feels like at the lakefront. 7 degrees below 0 at O'Hare. 6 degrees below 0 in Morris and in Kankakee. So brutally dangerous cold outside. Over the next 12 hours, it's going to feel like we could be around 12 at our peak when our actual temperature is in the upper teens. 3-day forecast. Tomorrow, 29 after a morning low, feeling like we could be again around 15 to 20 below 0. And then Saturday back to 31 degrees. A few rounds of snow, though, are expected. I'll tell you when ahead.
And before we get to our next story, we've got kind of a breaking news alert here as far as transportation goes. All South Shore train service is stopped this morning. This is because of some wiring issues. We don't have a timeline on when it'll get running again, so you're going to have to take an alternative form of transportation if you usually hop on the South Shore line.
Yep. Okay. A lot of people struggling to stay warm. Bad timing on that closure because all the South Shore commuters are having to find another way to get in and out of the city during this Arctic blast.
Roseanne Tellez is live in Western Springs with more. Hi, Roseanne.
Good morning. You know, it's beautiful out here, a winter wonderland. It may warm your heart, but the temperatures are going to chill you to the bone. Just 2 degrees right now in Western Springs, but it feels more like -5. It's so cold. It is the same story as you've heard Caitlin saying all around the Chicago area today. If you were walking or taking the train or bus to work or school, it is dangerously cold. Layering is the advice most people are sharing this morning. I would add to that, watch out for ice. This cold is a bit early this year. As you heard Caitlin say, the normal high is 40 degrees. But people here in Western Springs are pulling out the big coats and taking it in stride.
Well, I have to be in the office for 3 days a week, and I don't want to go on Friday, so I'm doing today.
Drink coffee, hot coffee.
A little hot coffee. What did it feel like when you walked out today?
It hurts your lungs when you breathe in. So it felt like I wanted to turn around and go back home.
I'm doing okay. I planned ahead and I have my glove liners on so that I have an additional layer.
Oh, now that's a new one on me. We've seen a lot of tricks. Those work pretty well?
They do, yep. And I also have a double layer of socks on, so.
Okay, tricks of the trade. You're a Chicagoan, you know.
I know.
It's all about the hands and feet, right? Those, I think, get so cold so quickly. So when you walk out and you see these blue skies and the beautiful sun shining, don't be fooled. It's still bitterly cold out here, everyone. And if you need to find a place where you can dip in and get warm, a warming center, go to a Fox Local app and you'll see a complete list. Back to you guys in the nice warm studio.
Okay, warm yourself up. Roseanne, thank you very much for that report. It's 8:04. The Illinois Tollway is operating around-the-clock patrols for anyone needing roadside assistance during this cold snap. Wants anyone dealing with mechanical problems, day or night, to be aware you could dial 999. The Tollway recommends keeping your cell phone charged before heading out. Make sure those tires are properly inflated. And they also recommend keeping your gas tank half full in case you have to idle for a while.
That's a good piece of advice. Woman is charged in connection with shooting and killing a mother who had just dropped her son off at school. It happened in the South Loop on September 8th near Cermak Road and State Street. According to police, Romika Blackman was shot in the face during a fight outside of her son's school. Our own Tia Ewing reports that she and another woman shared children with the same man. He was also at the scene of the shooting. The suspect in this case, Quadasia Holly Johnson, was initially arrested but released. She'll be in court, though, later this morning.
The FBI has arrested someone for putting pipe bombs in Washington, D.C. the day before the January 6th riot. The man was arrested this morning. The FBI, though, has not given any info out about this person, this particular individual. The bombs were put right near both the Democratic and Republican National Committees. In 2021, the bombs were defused before they went off. New this morning, federal prosecutors, they are moving to drop charges against the manager of the Chicago Laugh Factory. You may recall this incident involving Nathan Griffin. He was charged with forcibly assaulting and interfering with a federal agent for allegedly shutting a car door on that agent's leg. But Griffin's attorneys claim that none of that actually happened.
The Trump administration is facing a new lawsuit related to an immigration raid at a South Shore apartment complex. Democracy Forward, a legal organization based in Washington, D.C., wants the White House to release video from the September operation. The Department of Homeland Security has posted clips of the arrest, saying about 36 undocumented immigrants were detained, some believed to be tied to drugs or weapons charges.
Somali American leaders are reacting to comments made by President Trump. His reference to, quote, taking in garbage comes amid a crackdown on Somali immigrants in Minnesota, Twin Cities. Officials in the Twin Cities say they are bracing for as many as 100 federal agents to be deployed there, with the operation focused on Somalis who are in the country illegally, though some officials expect ICE to target indiscriminately.
What President Trump and most of the public who are attacking our community is not aware of is the success of this great community. And I believe personally that is why we're being targeted, and that's why we're being attacked.
All right, Minneapolis is home to the largest Somali American population in the country. According to the Census Bureau, most are naturalized U.S. citizens, but hundreds of others are here with temporary protected status, which the president wants to end for a long list of countries.
Chicago police are investigating after a woman was hit and killed by a CTA bus. It happened on South Shore Drive Wednesday morning. The bus had just started to move after a stop when a witness tells us a woman started running after it. Police say she slipped and was run over. The driver reportedly kept going. That driver is now off the job and being tested for drugs and alcohol, which is standard protocol.
New this morning, Rosemont police say that surveillance evidence shows that no one actually tampered with actress Tara Reid's drink when she was staying at the DoubleTree Hotel. Reid claimed that someone drugged her when she had left her drink alone at the bar. The footage, according to police, does show a bartender covering her drink with a napkin after she had stepped away. Police are still trying to figure out what happened here, but they are, at this point, not investigating anyone. All right, it's 8:08. Time to check back in with Caitlin. Very cold outside.
Yes. That's basically all you need to know. Yes, very cold. Wind chills are going to be below zero, not only this morning, but into the afternoon for some of you. Blue skies, sunshine, that's the second headline. But we have the chance for snow returning before you know it. As soon as tomorrow night, we have the potential for a little bit of snow. So here is your breakdown. Chills below zero, as mentioned this morning for most. This afternoon, just for our western counties. For Chicago, I do expect to be right around 11 or 12 as that feel-like temperature at our peak today. Now, the teens, those are going to be our highs. So the actual temperature flirting with 20 for Chicago, but the chance for snow, light snow is back Friday night and then again Saturday night and Sunday morning. Temperatures outside right now, 6 degrees at the lakefront, 10 at Gary, 3 in DeKalb, 1 degree below zero in Aurora. Wind chill, feel like temperature, 7 degrees below zero at O'Hare. The lakefront, it feels like 5. Northwest Indiana, single digits, so it is dangerously cold. Limit your exposure if you can today. Our futurecast, let's take you through the day. 5 o'clock, and we are seeing those below zero wind chills still in place for western areas like DeKalb and Woodstock, 7 degrees below zero. 5 at the lakefront at that time, and then we get into tonight and early tomorrow where the wind chill is going to be back to that 15 to 20 degrees below zero mark. So a dangerously cold start to your Friday, feeling like 9 degrees below zero at O'Hare. And then by 7 a.m., temperatures are still going to be cold, around zero. And then in the afternoon, that's when the feel like temperature will be back to the upper teens. So tomorrow, temperatures are actually going to be in the mid to upper 20s again. This weekend, the 30s return, but so does more snow. A full check of your forecast is coming up.
All right, Caitlin, thanks so much. Chicago police, they're trying to get more guns off the streets of Chicago, and you could actually make a little bit of money helping them do that. Their community policing director is going to be here to talk about their gun turn-in event that is happening this weekend.
Plus, a new lawsuit filed this morning against the Pentagon that claims that they're violating the First Amendment.
And it is the season of giving. Everybody in Fox 32 Chicago, PNC Bank, and the Chicago Bears, they are teaming up with the Greater Chicago Food Depository to help feed local families in need. Every dollar you give now will triple to provide 9 meals. Good time to donate. You can help out by going online to chicagosfoodbank.org.
Toyota New this morning, the New York Times is suing the Pentagon. The company claims the Defense Department's new reporting restrictions violate the First Amendment. The rules went into effect in October. They require journalists to sign a pledge they will not obtain unauthorized material. It also restricts access to certain areas. This video shows dozens of reporters walking out after refusing those rules. The Pentagon says the policy prevents leaks that threaten national security.
Lawmakers in Washington will hold a hearing today on the U.S. attack on an alleged Venezuelan drug boat. This was in early September. Now, there have been a number of strikes in recent weeks, but it's the one that happened on September 2nd that is now under scrutiny. A first attack largely destroys the boat. Then, after survivors are evidently seen, they are killed in a second strike. Critics have focused on War Secretary Pete Hegseth, but the Pentagon says Admiral Frank Bradley called the shot that day. He will brief lawmakers today in a closed-door session.
Today, Democratic Senator Dick Durbin will be reintroducing the DREAM Act. The legislation is designed to help those who were brought to the U.S. as children get citizenship. The senator shared the story of a young woman as an example as why these young immigrants deserve a chance.
Ms. Lopez Beloza is one of countless dreamers who have great potential to make this a better country. They're not asking for a free ride. They are hardworking and determined.
Durbin first introduced the DREAM Act 24 years ago.
All right, time to check back in with Caitlin Cody for a look at these bitter cold temperatures and when we might be able to see a little bit of relief from them. Caitlin?
Tomorrow afternoon, a little bit of relief. But in the meantime, look at this. It's beautiful. Very winter-esque looking in Chicago, but we have blue sky, sunshine, cold temperatures. So let's talk about our current conditions. Right now, it is only 7 degrees outside with that north-northwest wind at 5 to 10 miles per hour. The feel-like temperature below zero. Look at these wind chills. Right now, we are sitting at 7 degrees below zero at O'Hare, 6 degrees below zero in Morris. It feels like it could be 16 degrees below zero in Aurora and 5 degrees below zero in Kankakee. Northwest Indiana, 2 degrees below zero for your wind chill in Gary. Here is our futurecast with the actual temperatures today. So again, it is going to be a quiet day of weather outside of the cold air in place. As we head towards your lunchtime hour, temperatures are in the upper teens. We're going to be tagging 20 in a few spots southeast of the city, but western areas hardly climbing above 10. Now, as we get on into this evening, 7:15, a few clouds around, and the temperatures are starting to dip below zero already. Tonight and early tomorrow, brutal cold is back. Temperatures feeling again like we could be around 15 to 20 degrees below zero. Temperatures only around 10 at 6 a.m., 5 in DeKalb at that time. And then tomorrow afternoon, I mentioned that's when you might start to feel a touch of relief when it feels like we could be in the upper teens, but the actual temperature will be pushing to the mid and upper 20s. And then tomorrow night, so Friday night, we have the chance for a little bit of light snow, especially north of the city. And then this weekend, Saturday dry, but the chance for snow is back Saturday night and into Sunday morning. Here's your 7-day forecast. So tomorrow's high 29, 31 expected Saturday, Sunday 27. And next week, the chance for snow is back Monday night and Tuesday. And then a rain snow mix possible on Wednesday. Natalie.
Thank you, Caitlin. Chicago police want to get guns off the streets, and that's why they're giving out $100 for each one they get. Director of Community Policing Glenn Brooks is here to talk about their gun turn-in event this weekend. Good morning, Glenn.
Good morning.
Thanks for coming in.
Always happy to come.
Sure. So tell us where people can get a hold of this $100 gift card and what they need to do to get it.
So all people need to do is bring in an unwanted gun. We don't ask any questions. We'll give you a $100 gift card, which you can use during this holiday season at any place you need to. And we look forward to getting some guns that are no longer wanted or found out of people's homes.
Where can you use that gift card?
You can use it anywhere that takes Visa, MasterCard.
Okay, and then let's say that you have a BB gun or a replica gun. What about that?
Yeah, thanks for asking. So if you have a replica, you can also bring those in and we'll give you $10. And we don't ask any questions. I cannot stress that. So this is the opportunity to check your house and see if there's happens to be a gun that someone may have brought into the house and you need to get rid of, or if you happen to inherit it and you don't want it, you can turn it in and we can safely destroy it.
So this is at St. Sabina, again, this weekend only. How successful have these campaigns been in the past for you?
They've been very successful. We have, since we've started this, we've collected over 35,000 weapons that are no longer wanted. I can tell you we have 2 locations, not only St. Sabina, but we also had the JLM Abundance Center at 2622 West Jackson.
Okay, thank you. I know it's hard to remember those addresses in Chicago. Let's say that someone's out of town, they missed the event this weekend, but they still have a firearm that they want to turn in. Can they do that anytime?
Yeah, you can always call 911 and report an abandoned gun, and we'll take possession of that.
Okay.
So the gun turn-in, we only do about twice a year during the holiday season, and once again, we'll do it right before summer starts. But this is one of those opportunities that you really should take advantage of. And, you know, there are a number of ways people find guns in their homes. But, you know, these are the same guns that are stolen, people accidentally find, children accidentally find. And these are the guns that are a lot of times used in, you know, suicides. And so we want to give people an opportunity really to make their home safer.
Where does the money for those $100 gift cards come from?
So we are fortunate that the city supports this, and we've also had private donors from large corporations that have also supported it. But we've been very fortunate that people have continued to.
Now, once people turn those guns in, obviously no questions asked. That person isn't going to be charged with a crime, I assume. But are those guns tested to see if they have been used in crimes around Chicago?
So we treat the guns as they're abandoned.
I see.
And so, you know, we'll always check to make sure that it's not a stolen gun that has to be returned to an owner, but all the guns are eventually destroyed.
Okay, good. All right, thanks so much, sir. Thank you again for everything
All
you
right,
do.
thank you very much.
And coming up here, a much lighter story. Jake is hoofing it over to a very special place this morning. Coming up, he's going to show us, what is that Jake as a no, I think it's a little, I was going to say that could be Jake. He's going to show us all the holiday fun for you and your family at the Reindeer Ranch. And coming up later on Chicago Now, this one-of-a-kind holiday show and sale is back at the Mart. We have a sneak peek at the work you'll find from more than 600 artists. And Gen Z wants financial independence by 32, and it's showing up in their holiday spending. I would hope they have financial independence at the age of 32. My goodness. Plus, the best places to retire in the United States. That and more coming up at 10 a.m. on Chicago Now.
Say big on
All right, there's your live look at the corner of Michigan and Lake. It's cold out there. Hope everybody is staying warm as we kick off our Thursday. Caitlin says we might get a little bit of relief from this bitter cold at some point tomorrow afternoon. And it is Thursday, which means it's time to let the dogs out. We're on cute list overload here. Mark Lucas joining us from Paws with more on the joy that you can help them unleash this holiday season. Mark, who do we have as our special guest today? Yeah, unleash. You like that? Yeah.
How do I build on that? Well, I'm going to say, hey, look me over. Tell me, do you like what you see? Yes. I ain't got no money, but I'm rich on personality. Because, baby, this is Star.
Oh,
yes,
Star.
This is Star. He's a 3-month-old puppy at Paws Chicago. He's got ears
Look at those ears.
Those ears have either room to grow or room to go.
That's just his natural, ear position.
We didn't have a warm hat on this morning, but he probably could have used it.
So cute. Yeah. What do we know about Star here?
Star came to us a month ago, had a really bad upper respiratory infection. We treated it. He is playful, outgoing. He loves other dogs. He loves chasing toys. He loves everybody in your newsroom. Let me tell you.
He made a good first impression.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he made the rounds.
I'm wondering if he's trying to do a little reindeer imitation with those ears. You are just the cutest little thing in the world.
I'm guessing Star is going to be a little bit bigger. He's got some really nice sized paws.
Yeah.
He's got some height to him, but he's all love. And like all of our pets at Paws Chicago, he is looking for a loving home, and it would be great to add this guy to your your home, especially with the holidays coming.
Yeah, exactly.
It's such a wonderful time to adopt.
Let's hear about the timing on this. I understand you have something going on this weekend, and there's also some matching stuff going on this holiday season?
We do. We are having an adoption event at the Gordon Center in Lake Forest, Saturday from noon to 3. That's 400 East Illinois Street. It's a really wonderful opportunity to meet a lot of cats and dogs. We don't normally get the cats out on the road show. We are going to have a lot of cats and dogs there. The event is free. We always encourage you to bring the whole family to meet the animals. And then, we've got a lot of fun matching stuff going on. We've got 12 Strays of Christmas is going on. Our friend Ray Stevens at WLS Radio, who's been a guest of the show, is doing a wonderful meet a different animal each day. But what really we need help with on top of adoption is support from our community.
Yeah.
You can save so many lives in many different ways with Paws Chicago. Myself, I'm a volunteer. You can volunteer or foster. Every gift of your time saves lives. We've also got a great opportunity where we can double the money that's donated to us throughout this month of December. Online at our website, pawschicago.org, you can make a gift right there as small as $10. $10 will get a wonderful pup like this, a new toy, probably their first toy. $35 helps provide essential medication, and that gift is going to be doubled all this month. So if you're looking to make a difference, you can go online. And also, if you're looking for a gift for an animal lover, we have a wonderful tribute card that you can send. You actually go online, you fill out the card, it'll be personalized to that person. You make the donation in their name. They're going to get it in the mail. It gets a little thanks from you and a thanks from Paws, and the opportunity to make a huge difference in the lives of Star and all the other ones.
And so, northern suburbs people, this is your week. Lake Forest this Saturday.
Show up strong.
Real quick, Mark, before we let you go, what would be your message to folks? This is the holiday. When it comes to gift giving and adding to your family this holiday, what do you see this time of year, and what would be your message out there for folks who are considering that stuff?
So glad you brought that up. I always want people to understand that animals are a part of your family. They're not a gift. Now, if you're looking to add an animal to your home over the holiday season and you want to do it as a gift, one of the best ways is to either get a special ornament like a cat or a dog and hide it on the tree and tell your children, look for something different on the tree this year, or maybe wrap up a stuffed animal. And then when they get it and they go, oh, this is cute, I don't understand, you say, we're going to go down to our local no-kill shelter and we're going to bring an animal into our home. Don't buy it as a gift, because you want to have everyone that lives in the house there for the adoption, because everybody needs to be comfortable, and it's a family decision, because animals like Star are going to be with you for 10, 15 years. Everybody's going to need to be caring for them as a commitment.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for clarifying there, Mark. Star, thank you for being here. You're the cutest thing ever.
Oh, yes.
Little reindeer. and hope everyone gets out there and supports Paul Chicago. Thank you for being here.
Thank you
as
so
always,
much
sir.
for your time.
Yeah. Great to see you as always. 8:28, still ahead for us. Beat the Streets. Chicago is here. How they are coaching kids to grapple with life challenges via the sport of wrestling. Can't wait to talk to them. And Caitlin, you've been busy today warning people about this dangerous cold.
It feels like 6 degrees below zero right now downtown. Very cold. Yes, it's going to be a beautiful day, though. We've got sunny skies. This afternoon, well, not much relief. Highs only in the upper teens. A full check of your forecast, including a few rounds of snow, is coming up. Gabby.
All right. Well, you can warm up here at one of my favorite places in River West, Gangnam Market. They're celebrating 2 years, so mark your calendars Saturday and Sunday. They have some extra special stuff that's going on. Discounts, dancing dragons, beer samples, you name it. We'll tell you all about it.
It's the
Welcome back at 8:32 on your Thursday morning. The New York Times is going to be suing the Pentagon.
The company claims the Defense Department's new reporting restrictions violate the First Amendment. The rules went into effect in October. They require journalists to sign a pledge they will not obtain unauthorized material.
Lawmakers in Washington will hold a hearing today on the U.S. attack on an alleged Venezuelan drug boat. There have been a number of strikes in recent weeks on boats, but it's the one that happened on September 2nd that is right now under scrutiny. A first attack largely destroys the boat. Then, after survivors are allegedly seen, they are killed in a second strike.
Somali American leaders are reacting to comments made by President Trump. His reference to, quote, taking in garbage comes amid a crackdown on Somali immigrants in Minnesota. Officials in the Twin Cities say they are bracing for as many as 100 federal agents to be deployed there. Minneapolis is home to the largest Somali American population in the country.
Yeah, and taking a live look outside here in Chicago. Boy, you can just see how cold it is there. Chicago dealing with dangerously cold temperatures, starting out in the single digits with wind chills way lower. Yeah, it makes it feel like 10 below in some spots.
And it's not over yet. Roseanne Tellez has more on what people are doing to stay warm. She's out braving the elements for us this morning. Roseanne?
Good morning. Well, you know, for people who are inside, maybe haven't turned on the TV, they look out and they see this sun and the blue skies. Don't be fooled, everybody. It is frigid out here, just 5 degrees in Western Springs. We're going up now. I think we were at 2 degrees when we arrived this morning. So at least it's warming up. But it is the same story all over the Chicagoland area today. Dangerous for anybody, but particularly if you're going to be walking or if you're taking the train or bus and have to walk there to catch it. There is icy snow on the ground you have to look out for, and bundling up is absolutely mandatory. But just about everybody we talk to has their own technique.
No exposed skin is number one, so I do the full thing.
Yeah.
Full thing. People look at you odd, but ever since COVID, I think everyone just accepts it now, so you can roll with it.
Well, again, very cold out here. If you need to find a warming center, you can go to our Fox Local app. My personal tip for you today, hand warmer. These like battery-operated hand warmers. How's this for a stocking stuffer, by the way? It's working just great out here in Western Springs this morning. Back to you guys in the studio.
They're reliable.
I was just thinking, too, we could pool together something to get one of those heated vests as well, Roseanne, so you're all ready to go for us. Thank you.
Thank you, Roseanne. Appreciate it. All right, the Illinois Tollway is operating around-the-clock patrols as well. We're going to talk more about their efforts to keep drivers safe in weather like this. And let's check in now with Caitlin for how long these bitter temperatures are sticking around.
My tip, don't be embarrassed to wear the snow pants.
There you
okay?
go.
Wear the snow pants. The whole coverall situation, guys. Temperatures outside feel like we could be below zero. We've been talking about this all morning. Right now, it feels like 7 degrees below zero from the lakefront to O'Hare. 16 degrees below zero in Aurora is your wind chill right now. 2 degrees below zero is what it feels like in Gary. So a very cold start. We have blue sky, though, and sunshine expected today. Our futurecast shows high temperatures pushing to the upper teens, some of us into the low 20s. But the feel-like temperature this afternoon is going to be right around 10 to 12 degrees out there for us in Chicago. A few clouds this afternoon, and then tonight we're dropping back down to below zero in a few spots. Also feeling like we could be about 10 to 20 degrees below zero as a wind chill tomorrow morning. Heading into the afternoon hours tomorrow, though, we're back to the upper 20s, which is still below where we should be for this time of year. Our normal high, we should be in the 40s, low 40s, upper 30s, low 40s for Chicagoland. But then we have more clouds in the forecast with the chance for a little bit of light snow tomorrow night into early Saturday. And then this weekend, more snow expected. Saturday night into early Sunday. Highs right around 31 degrees on Saturday. Sunday about 27. We start off next week. Monday, dry skies, 24. Chance for snow is back, though, Monday night and Tuesday. Tuesday's high, 35. Then a rain-snow mix expected on Wednesday as highs push back to the upper 30s. Back to you.
Okay, Caitlin, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Okay, here is some info for drivers out there if you take the tollway. The Illinois Tollway is now going to be operating around-the-clock patrols to help anyone needing roadside assistance during this cold snap. It wants anyone dealing with mechanical problems, day or night, to be aware you can dial 999. The tollway recommends keeping your cell phone charged before heading out, making sure your tires are properly inflated, and also they recommend keeping your gas tank at least half full. That's in case you need to wait and keep that car idling for a while.
Good advice. If you're still searching for some great gift ideas, we've got you covered. Stick with us at 9 a.m. for a gift guide that will make your shopping a little bit easier, how it highlights everything Chicago has to offer.
Welcome back. Beat the Streets Chicago isn't just about wrestling. It's about changing young people's lives across the city.
Board member Brett Penninger joins us to talk about how the sport is helping our youth rewrite their futures. Brett, what a great program. Explain what Beat the Streets Chicago is and what's going on around you there.
You bet. Well, Beat the Streets Chicago is a nonprofit organization that uses wrestling as a way to teach kids discipline and pride and grit and all of the things that's necessary for them to be successful in life, on the mat and outside of it.
And so how do kids get involved? How many kids do you guys serve through this program? And are there specific parts of the city where it's available, or is it available citywide?
It's available citywide. Right now we have over 4,000 kids here in the greater Chicago area, primarily here right down in the Chicago metro area. And we're the largest Beat the Streets program in the country, and we make a massive impact for the kids, and again using wrestling as a way in order for them to be able to grow and develop for themselves.
Obviously, it's more than just the sport, Brett. So explain what additional services and support the program offers.
We have a lot of enrichment programs. So we have a 360 program where we take care of our kids from an educational side. We take care of them oftentimes from a transportation side. We take care of them from a mentorship side so that we can guide and develop them both where they're at in their schooling and towards where they want to go in their future. And so it's far more than just a wrestling program. Wrestling is the foundation that we have for that, but it really allows for our kids to then be able to be protected and covered in all areas of their life as it pertains to personal, professional, and academically.
This is great. And Brett, I want to ask you specifically about the sport itself. Wrestling's, from what I know, a very tough sport. You offer this, I understand, to both boys and girls. Why is wrestling in particular a good match for this kind of growth that you guys are talking about?
Well, I'm a former wrestler, and once a wrestler, always a wrestler. Wrestling is the oldest and toughest sport there is. Part of what makes it so hard is it's incredibly it's hard to be able to stay in shape. It's hard to be able to push another person and you don't know exactly what they're going to do. The time that you have to put into it really creates the discipline and the work ethic that then is going to be necessary to be successful in life no matter what direction you go. Wrestling just happens to be one of those sports that does it better than any other sport on the planet, and I would like to say I'm a little bit biased towards that as I'm understanding it, and I have been a wrestler, but all you have to do is do it for about 1 week and you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Brett, finally, how can viewers, parents, teachers, maybe former athletes like yourself get involved to help our youth through this organization?
Oh my gosh, there's so many ways to do it. The biggest way outside of just fundraising, that's what the biggest need that we have right now is. We're opening up more and more centers so that we can serve more and more kids. And that would be the biggest one. Outside of that, we have a tremendous coaching staff. So if you want to get involved, you can get involved on a volunteer basis. We have locations throughout the city where you can come and you can work with the kids and you can see exactly what's going on. When I talk about enrichment, you can come and you can do tutoring. You can come and provide expertise that you have in an area that you've really excelled in, or as we all need, is a fundraising that's going to be able to support being able to build out more facilities to serve more and more kids so we can start expanding that and serve more for their benefit.
Brett, before we let you go, if people like what they see behind you, and there's some pretty athletic people, I just noticed, what's the easiest way for them to log on and get a donation in to Beat the Streets?
Sure, just go to beatthestreets.org. and you'll be able to, we have a donation site on that, so you can go ahead and donate there. I think the best way to really understand the impact of what your donation and your dollars do is to really visit one of the sites. If you have the opportunity to do that, make sure to be able to get out there so you can see exactly the impact that your finances are having on the kids, as you can see right behind me, and the facilities that are needed to foster that.
Love it. Brett Penninger with Beat the Streets, thank you so much. Love what you guys are doing. Appreciate it, sir.
Thank you.
All right, let's send things over to Caitlin Cody with an update on this bitter cold weather and where we could see some release. I see a lot of negative numbers.
Yes, the wind chill below zero, 7 degrees below zero is what it feels like at the lakefront all the way out to O'Hare. Looks like we just got an update here. 4 degrees below zero is what it feels like at the lakefront. But still 7 degrees below zero at O'Hare for that wind chill. 16 degrees below zero in Aurora, 4 degrees below zero in Morris. Looking at Northwest Indiana, that's where we have the single digits in Valpo and Merrillville as our warm spot. 14 degrees in Michigan City is what it feels like. So the wind chill really is what we're focusing on today, because even though highs are going to be pushing to about 20 degrees, which again is half of where we should be. We should be at 41 as our high today. It's still going to feel like we're hardly above 10 this afternoon. Sunny skies are in the forecast for today, but tonight we're dropping back down to that wind chill of 15 to 20 degrees below zero. So tomorrow morning, on your Friday morning, it is going to be dangerously cold yet again as actual temperatures drop down to the single digits for us in Chicago. Tomorrow's high temperatures back to around 30 degrees, but it's still going to be a cold day with wind chills in the upper teens for your Friday. Here you go. Peaking around 17 or 18 degrees for the wind chill after starting off below zero. 7-day forecast. Tomorrow's high right around 30, 31 degrees expected Saturday. So the next couple of days, very similar feel, but we have the chance for a little bit of light snow Friday night and then again Saturday night into early Sunday. Next week, we start off with the mid-20s. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Caitlin. Appreciate it. If you are on the hunt for the latest viral sensation, look no further than Gangnam Market.
It is a grocery store unlike any other. Gabriella Primus is live there now to show us how they are celebrating their 2nd anniversary in River West.
Hey, you know what, guys? Everything's happening this weekend. And as I said in the tease, this is one of my favorite spots, okay? This is the perfect place to get those kind of kitschy items, and you're going to see them all behind us. I'm with Desiree, who's been here since before the beginning, over 2 years, getting Gangnam Market set up. How are you this morning?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. Okay, we have this colorful aisle when you're greeted into Gangnam Market. Of course, the food court, too, that we'll see in a second. You know, for people who aren't familiar, what can they expect here? It's more than just the stuff that you find overseas, right?
Yes. So we have beautiful lights that people love to see when they walk in. We also have a famous ice cream that we do sell here as well. We also have a lot of like candies that are all imported and all so tasty.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, so I asked you, what's one of the more popular things? And you said the high shoes, right?
The high shoes are so good.
Okay.
My favorite ones is probably going to be the sweet and sour one. They're good, but they'll leave your face a little sweet.
Like, have a little bit of a cute face, right? That's like a get it on video moment.
Yes.
All right, you said that ice cream, of course.
Yes.
Remember the mango ones that they brought into the station, guys, that were so fun and like kitschy? This is ice cream pops. This is new. It's kind of a big ticket item, but look how fun this is. Ready? Oh, if I can open it. There we go. Can you tell us about this?
So this one, we're the only store in Chicago to have this. It's very brand new. We just got it maybe like 2 weeks ago, and there's different flavors in it. There's banana, there's a big berry, 2 strawberries, and an orange, and they're like the mini versions of the very popular ice cream we used to have.
Yes, that's so cute. All right, as you walk down here, you know, you see that it's more than just, like I said, a lot of these items. It's also a real grocery store, right? You can get your produce, you can get everything else. What is people's reaction when they do come in here for the first time?
They're always so shocked. They feel like they're in a different, they're in a different country, and they really love it. We also have a lot of events that happen into the store as well.
Yeah, let's talk about your 2-year anniversary that's happening this weekend, the full celebration. What can people expect?
So we're going to be having a lion dance happening both the days. We're also going to be giving out prizes to customers if you spend a specific amount, like $6-7, $67.
There you go, right?
Yeah. And yeah, we're celebrating our 2-year anniversary this weekend, the whole 8 a.m. to 9 p.m.
Okay, I want to also take folks over here because there's some prizes that people can get. Tell us about this space, you know, once they check out and everything.
All right, once you check out and you spend around $67, you get a chance to win a modern water cup or a Hello Kitty hand cream that's like licensed by Hello Kitty. And then also if you spend money on 2 or more Lecom key items, you also get another one for free.
Oh my goodness.
But you have to spin a wheel for that.
Okay, and you can't forget about this Christmas tree with all the Labubus.
Yes.
To the left too. I mean,
And
that's a star. I see a lot of Labubus.
We will also be having a Labubu event, a mini Labubu event in the food court, so definitely check that out too.
Okay, guys, we're gonna go visit that food court here in the 9 a.m. hour. We wake up early, so lunchtime it's already passed. All right, we'll have more information about Gangnam Market and the weekend events on our website, fox32chicago.com. Just click under links you saw on TV. Okay, I'll see you then. I love it.
I can't wait to see that food court.
Me either. What a fun place. Thank you so much, Gabby. And Jake is live, and he has got his reindeer antlers on. He's ready to go.
Oh, look at this guy.
Oh, that's right. Hello, good morning. How are you? That's right, guys. You know, Santa might need them one night of the year, but the other 364, they're right here in Shabana. We are live at Whispering Pines Reindeer Ranch, and boy, do we have some friends to introduce you to. We'll tell you more coming up right here on Good Day Chicago.
Stream.
Okay, Santa obviously getting his reindeer ready for Christmas, but you don't have to wait to catch a glimpse of them.
Jake is live at Whispering Pines Reindeer Ranch to show us some of the holiday magic.
That's right, guys. We are out here in Shabana, and let me tell you, Whispering Pines Reindeer Ranch, you're not going to find a more magical place in the greater Chicagoland area. I'm here with Randy. This is his daughter, April. And guys, not that I'm not excited to see you, but this is the star of the show. This is Olive. Randy, tell us a little bit about what Whispering Pines is.
We are a U-cut and pre-cut tree farm where we sell trees, but our primary focus is on taking reindeer joy all over the Chicagoland area.
And you guys do that. You bring them all over the area. But you can't necessarily maybe come out here, but you don't really have to because you bring them to people all over the Chicagoland area. You're doing, correct me if I'm wrong, you've done stuff with Make-A-Wish. You bring them to Navy Pier. You do all kind of events with these.
Yes, we do many country club photo shoots, hardware store tree sales, private residences. We're literally from Milwaukee to Peoria and Madison to the Quad Cities, all over Chicago.
Now, tell us a little bit about Olive. How many reindeer do you have total, actually?
So we had 17. We had 5 babies this year.
Wow.
We started selling babies about 3 years ago. So right now we're at 15 on the farm. And Olive is one of our stars. She was the first baby born on the farm. And she's just a rock star. She'll stand for 4 hours for photos and pets.
She has been fantastic all morning long. And what do you think? What are some of the surprising facts about reindeer that you think surprises people whenever you take them out and about?
That they can run up to 50 miles an hour, faster than Olympic sprinter. They can swim faster than Mark Spitz. Their body, the hollow hairs, they float high. They can swim really fast.
Are they? You know, obviously we had a big snowfall over the weekend. We're going to go outside in the next hour and just kind of show you the area because it's just beautiful out here. Are they loving this weather?
Yes, and they've got a bedded building. They sleep out in the snowdrifts. They'd rather be outside in the snow.
I love it. Randy, I'm going to pop over. I want to talk with April for a second. April, first of all, you're doing an amazing job with Olive. You know, it's you know,
in her space
now. Right, we're in her home. Is that, and then we have what? Is that Fritz over there?
That is Fritz.
Fritz is mad that we're not giving him any attention, so he's turned his back. He said, "Forget you guys." Now, what is this? I mean, being this time of year, being able to interact with Olive and the other reindeers just got to be magical, and seeing like the kids around them has got to be amazing.
It really is, and honestly, kids and adults.
Yes.
They bring magic to everybody. Come here, Miss Thing. You're stuck. They bring magic to everybody, and it just truly is special to, you know, help bring that Christmas cheer and watch those kids' faces light up when they get to meet Santa's reindeer.
Honestly, I've done it. I'm a 37-year-old man. I've got to ask, obviously, you guys bring them all over the Chicago area, whether it be the airport or Navy Pier. If someone's watching and they're thinking, I got to get these out, I want my kids to see them, I want my company to see them, what do they need to know? How can they reach out to you guys?
Yeah, we have a website, WhisperingPinesReindeerRanch.com, and you can subscribe to a newsletter to get weekly updates on where we are at, as well as our social media is full of some great videos that you can just share with your family and friends from home, so that's nice as well. But yeah, we get all over, so it's a great opportunity.
I would imagine they're a little busy on Christmas Eve night. Is that accurate?
They are very, very busy.
So guys, as we toss it back to you, they're booked up on Christmas Eve. I can't tell you who their client is, but he's a pretty big deal. On that note, we're out here in Shabana as we toss it back to you. We're going to have more. We're actually going to go outside in the next hour. I'm going to go talk with Fritz. He's a little mad that he didn't get time on this live shot, but this is Olive's live shot for right now. So we're going to toss it back to you guys in the studio. Olive, you look fantastic.
She is so cute.
So cute. I'm actually not surprised how athletic they are. They got to circle the globe
The leaping,
in a whole night. Yeah.
Well, I can't wait to see more. And if you want to, stick around because more Good Day Chicago is ahead.
Dude.
Well, it's just the ladies now.
That's right.
Welcome to Good Day Chicago on our 9 o'clock hour, everyone. And here's a look at some of the things that we have coming up for you. Bundle up. These extreme temperatures sticking around. I was in the hallway, and when I came in, I ran into Anthony, and he said, "Oh, you pulled out the big coat today." Yeah.
You did?
You need 'em
Did you
today.
barely see your eyes? I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, we're going to share where you can stay warm during this cold weather.
Rudolph, Dancer, and Prancer, we're going to visit a local reindeer ranch, spreading holiday magic and Christmas cheer during this most wonderful time of the year.
I'm so jealous of Jake today.
They're super
Hanging with
cute.
the reindeer. Yeah, people from all over the world are in love with the city of Chicago. We know that. So we're going to show you how you can share this love and gifts of the city of Chicago this holiday season.
But first, let's head over to Caitlin to see just how cold it is out there, Caitlin.
Beautiful, but very cold, dangerous level chilly this morning, today, and tonight. Looking at these live shots, though, a few clouds in the distance. We've got plenty of sunshine. Really, today is going to be a quiet day of weather outside of the chill. Teens as highs today. Now, with that being said, it's going to feel like we could be closer to 11 or 12, and we have the chance for snow tomorrow night, also this weekend, Saturday night and on Sunday morning. A little bit of snow is in the forecast. Right now, though, we're sitting in the single digits in most spots, 8 degrees at the lakefront as well as O'Hare, 14 in Gary, 13 from Chicago Heights to Merrillville. The feel-like temperature, though, still below zero. 4 degrees below zero at the lakefront is the wind chill, 7 degrees below zero at O'Hare, 10 degrees below zero in Aurora. So a very cold start. Let's take you through the rest of your day. I mentioned how it's going to feel like we could be around 11 or 12 this afternoon. By 5 p.m., we're already seeing below zero wind chills return west of Chicago. And then tonight and early tomorrow, look at these numbers. Back to 15 to 20 degrees below zero for the wind chill to start off your Friday. And then into the afternoon, it's going to feel like we could be in the teens. Temperatures will be warming up, though. You can see by 4 p.m. feeling like 17 degrees when we push to the upper 20s. And then we get into Saturday, temperatures again. Very similar to Friday, but we have that potential for a little bit of snow returning Saturday night and on Sunday morning. Here is your futurecast. High pressure is in control today. Generally quiet conditions outside of the chill, as mentioned. Then we get into Friday. Friday, a few more clouds around and the chance for a passing light snow shower, especially north of the city. We'll take a look at your full 7-day forecast, including next week's snowfall and rain that's on the way. It's all coming up.
Thank you, Caitlin. We continue to follow developments on the South Shore line. All services temporarily stopped due to a wire down near Kensington that is just north of the Hegwish station. Right now, crews are working to get trains moving again. I believe this is a live look from our chopper. We're going to continue to keep you updated on their progress. And one thing that a lot of us still have to do during this bitter weather is work. We got to go to work. If you don't have that remote ticket to work at home, got to go in.
And a lot of people work outside still.
Right.
You know, Rosanna's at the Western Springs Metro Station, though, learning how commuters are staying safe in these low temperatures. Hey, Roseanne.
Good morning. Well, the first thing they tend to do is dash right into the station, right? And they wait there. When the trains arrive, they sprint on board the train. We've been lucky to talk to a few of them on the way about their tricks for staying warm. But the good news is it's up to 7 here now. When we first arrived, it was 2 degrees in Western Springs. But again, this is pretty much the same story all over Chicagoland today. We have this frigid weather, and if you're walking or you're taking public transportation to school or work, it is dangerously cold. Layering is the best advice that most people are sharing this morning. I would add to that, watch out for the ice. A lot of slippery roadway this morning. This cold is a bit early this year. The normal high is 40 degrees on this day. But people here in Western Springs are pulling out those big coats and taking it in stride.
Well, I have to be in the office for 3 days a week, and I don't want to go on Friday, so I'm doing today.
Drink coffee, hot coffee.
A little hot coffee. What did it feel like when you walked out today?
It hurts your lungs when you breathe in. So it felt like I wanted to turn around and go back home.
I'm doing okay. I planned ahead and I have my glove liners on so that I have an additional layer.
Oh, now that's a new one on me. We've seen a lot of tricks. Those work pretty well?
They do, yep. And I also have a double layer of socks on, so.
Okay, tricks of the trade. You're a Chicagoan, you know.
I know.
there's nothing worse than cold hands and feet. Am I right? I think she's on to something there. A lot of good ideas. Now, don't let these blue skies and all this sunshine fool you. You know, as Caitlin said, it is freezing out here. It just happens to be beautiful, too. We're enjoying both this morning. Well, maybe not enjoying the cold, but trying to cope with it like everybody else. Back to you guys in the studio.
Roseanne, you always have such a positive attitude. Thank you. Somali American leaders are reacting to comments made by President Trump. His reference to, quote, taking in garbage comes amid a crackdown on Somali immigrants in Minnesota in particular. Officials in the Twin Cities say that they are bracing for as many as 100 federal agents to be deployed there, with the operation focused on Somalis who are in the country illegally, though some officials expect ICE to target indiscriminately.
What President Trump and most of the public who are attacking our community is not aware of is the success of this great community. And I believe personally that is why we're being targeted, and that's why we're being attacked.
Minneapolis is home to the largest Somali American population in the country. According to the Census Bureau, most are naturalized U.S. citizens, but hundreds of others are here with temporary protected status, which the president wants to end for a long list of countries.
The New York Times is suing the Pentagon. The company claims the Defense Department's new reporting restrictions violate the First Amendment. The rules went into effect in October. They require journalists to sign a pledge they will not obtain unauthorized material. It also restricts access to certain areas. This is video showing dozens of reporters walking out after refusing the rules. Pentagon says the policy prevents leaks that threaten national security.
House Democrats have released newly discovered photos and videos from Jeffrey Epstein's private island. Lawmakers are using the new images to put pressure on U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi to follow the law requiring the Justice Department to release all Epstein files by December 19th. A bipartisan group is also now demanding a briefing from Bondi by this Friday on whether the DOJ can meet that deadline and what new evidence might be in those files.
O'Hare's having a great year. Flights are up 10%. That is the most out of any other major airport. But that success could spell trouble for expansion plans. Chicago plans to build a global terminal and other terminals over the next few years, and they'll have to close down Terminal 2 to make it happen. But with O'Hare being as busy as it is, the question is, can it really afford to do that?
There's 43 gates there, so in that transition of building a new global terminal, we could end up with fewer gates than we have now as construction is underway, and that's tricky stuff at an airport where we're splitting from the seams already.
City planners are now considering changes to the $8 billion project. They had originally planned on building the global terminal first. United and American Airlines, they're paying for the bulk of construction. They want it pushed up, but now the city wants to build one of the satellite terminals first. And this is exciting. There's buzz in Gurnee Mills after the village approved funding to fill that old Sears site there. The village board has not announced which store will be replacing it, but we did some sleuthing here. We think we have figured it out. It's a popular home goods retailer with locations in 27 states. Officials went on to say the latest location opened this year in San Marcos, Texas. The Chicago Tribune reports a smaller scale IKEA opened there in July. Board officials also said the company filling the vacancy began in 1942 as a mail order company, which IKEA did. Ravinia's Pavilion being renovated right now, which means they're trying to get rid of a whole lot of stuff. And instead of throwing it away, Ravinia is offering people the chance to own a piece of history. Right now through Sunday, it's auctioning off vintage seats, the Chicago Symphony Orchestra musician's mailbox. And Ravinia also took the wood from the stage to make new items like a conductor's table and rings.
If you buy a piece of Ravinia stage, you are buying a piece where Aretha Franklin stood, where Pitbull stood, Kygo, the Chicago Symphony, Yo-Yo Ma, Chicago, all the greats. James Taylor was just here this last year, who's graced the stage is pretty remarkable. And to own just a little piece of history and put it on your bookshelf or have that as a conversation piece, I think is priceless.
It's pretty cool indeed. I was telling him I get excited about the thought of owning something that Lenny Kravitz, walked on.
Yeah.
It just kind of changes the game of what's in your home, you know? Hey, Chicago's Committee on License and Consumer Protection approves a ban on hemp sales in the city. There was so much conversation about this vote coming. This is ahead of a federal hemp ban set to take effect next November. If adopted by the full council, the citywide ban would shut down the sale of hemp-derived products that contain chemical compounds found in cannabis, unless sold by licensed cannabis dispensaries. Those who spoke out against the ordinance say an outright ban would crush mom-and-pop businesses across the city that sell hemp products.
Passing that measure has resulted in a reduction in the number of poisoned children and 911 calls. There has been talk about how the city can profit from these dangerous narcotics, but public health is not for sale.
Prohibition does not erase the market. Prohibition does not erase that customer. It's still there. Instead, you put it all to the side. You encourage those bad actors that you are trying to remove. You're enabling them when we need to regulate the beverages that we already have in the market that we already have.
The ordinance is off to the full council for a vote in the coming weeks.
We've got a massive recall to tell you about this morning for cheese sold in both Illinois and Indiana. Chances are you might have a package of this stuff. The recall impacts more than 1.5 million bags of shredded cheese because they may contain metal fragments. They were manufactured by Great Lakes Cheese Company and sold under various store brands, including Borden, Great Value, Good and Gather, and Lucerne. Big retailers like Walmart, Target, and Aldi all impacted here. The recall includes mozzarella, pizza style, and provolone cheeses with sell-by dates from January to March 2026. So far, no injuries reported. A group of advisors to the CDC, handpicked by Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., will vote this week on whether the agency should scrap its longstanding recommendation that every baby get a hepatitis B vaccination within 24 hours of birth. The shot is widely credited with driving down infections in kids by 99%. The committee is set to meet today and Friday. They make their recommendation to the CDC director, who will choose whether to adopt it.
A Detroit area Army veteran is turning into a viral sensation. 88-year-old Ed Bombas works at the Mayor in Brighton 5 days a week. He retired from General Motors in 1999, but he says after the company's bankruptcy, his pension was reduced to $300 a month. Then his wife's illness and death wiped out his savings. Oh my. Okay, so a couple of social media influencers heard about his situation, paid him a visit, started a GoFundMe to kick it off. One of them gave Bombas a tip of $400, but that GoFundMe has since raised more than $1 million.
I get $300 out of that pension money, that's all. I didn't have enough money to survive.
Inspiring for me personally to see his story and see what he does every day. I think everyone around the world is kind of seeing the same thing now.
Oh, I love this so much. Ed says that he hopes to use the donations to live the life he was hoping for. Aww.
That is just... It's a sad reality for so many. And at 88,
really is.
Oh my goodness.
Sad reality, and the flip side is a good reality that people still care about other people.
Absolutely. I'm sure he's become a local celebrity at that Meijer there in Michigan. Well, good news for Bad Bunny. Spotify says the rapper is the most streamed artist globally for 2025. The second most streamed artist, probably no surprise, that's Taylor Swift. She'd been #1 the past 2 years, is still #1 in the U.S. Bad Bunny has the #1 album. At #2, the soundtrack to the movie K-pop Demon Hunters.
And we get Bad Bunny for the Super Bowl. So that's coming up in February. All makes sense. The Gangnam Market is celebrating 2 years of serving the community in style. After the break, more about this unique shopping experience and its popular food hall. It's about 9:15. right, welcome back, everyone. 9:16 right now to give you a live look over Millennium Park. And oh boy, I mean, it's beautiful, but bitterly cold out there. Please bundle up and make sure you check on your neighbors, especially our seniors in the community. You know, it's been 2 years since the Gangnam Market transformed the grocery shopping experience in Westtown.
Certainly, I've been there once because they have like the crazy,
everything.
Right, and they've got like the widest array of potato chip varieties. And I had to try them all. It's popular for its vibrant food court, offering authentic dishes from various Asian cuisines as well. Gabriela Primus is there as it gets ready for its anniversary celebration.
You know what? I'm lucky I live close by, you guys, because I'm going to be coming over and seeing what's up on Saturday and Sunday so much. All right, I'm with Kim. And now, Kim and I were busy during the last half hour, okay? We had to get our cart full of stuff. We'll go through that here in a second. But, Kim, let's talk about the food court. If no one's been here before, of course, there's these great items that are imported from overseas, but also great eats around that you can eat fresh here.
Oh, there's 6 food stalls here, and we have our first in the nation turkey ramen, like ever.
Whoa, okay, and then that's what we're going to be serving up right now is a turkey ramen. When people come, what is their reaction? Like, of course, they see the bright lights. It's like you're transported to an Asian bustling city, but also then you have all these great items.
They are usually very overstimulated, super excited. There's so many colors, so many things to see. They're looking at boba, they're looking at ramen, they're looking at the sushi, the bar. It's kind of like a hard choice, but we always suggest, especially if it's cold, get some ramen. It warms you from the inside out.
Yes,
for sure.
and it's the perfect time right now.
Absolutely.
I'm looking around, I'm seeing the posters about the 2-year anniversary weekend happening Saturday and Sunday. Give us a little bit of an insight of what people can expect.
So this year, I'm kind of same as always. We're always going to bring in the lion dance. We're going to have a little Labubu table. We have so many vendors, local and otherwise, that are going to demo, give away free gifts. And at our full bar, we're actually having Sapporo and Goose Island come pour and give away free glassware.
Okay, yeah, it's a little bit too early for us to be cracking them open, but we do have a little prop for you on the table. We have to. How special is it for you as a manager here to know that it's been 2 successful years here in Chicago?
Yeah, it's been amazing. I've actually been here since the beginning.
Okay. All right, my ramen's ready. This is the turkey ramen, correct, Tristan? Thank you very much. Okay, I'll be very careful taking it back. This looks good for this cold day, you guys. All right, Kim. This is a big bowl. Are people usually surprised by the portions, too?
Oh, absolutely. It's kind of overwhelming, but it's so freaking good. This one's a spicy miso.
The spicy miso, one of the more popular?
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
That or the paitan.
Now, people need to know what we went shopping for. We just heard it in the show, K-pop Demon Hunters. Hello, people. Yes, there's chips here that are that themed, too.
Literally, K-pop Demon Hunters. We have ramen. We actually have the standouts in our store. The kids go crazy for that.
Okay.
They love the show.
2 years here at Gangnam Market. I have one more thing I need to do. I forgot about the ice cream that we have up here that I need to grab. Again,
it's a perfect dessert.
Tell us about this real quick.
So this is actually an assortment of different ice creams. We're actually the first in Chicago to get it. And you'll get so many different little shaped ice creams. They're covered in white chocolate. That's a banana.
We need one too.
Oh,
we got to cheers.
You know what? Cheers. Cheers. Look at the raspberry.
Look how fun this is. Okay, Saturday and Sunday, you guys. We'll have more information online. Oh my God, this is so fun. It's just like banana.
That's just like raspberry.
You guys, I can't believe I almost forgot. And I have my warm ramen here. Now, this is the kind of morning I like. This is the kind of morning I like.
Dessert before dinner?
Wow. Okay. I'll toss back to you guys. I got to get busy here.
Listen, it looks fantastic. The sweet, the savory, all of it looks awesome. That's why they've been around, you know. That's why they're celebrating an anniversary. Thank you, Gabriella. Let's talk about what's coming up on Chicago now, right after our show here. The one-of-a-kind holiday show and sale is back at the Mart. We have a sneak peek at the work that you'll find from more than 600 artists. It's always amazing. Gen Z wants financial independence by 32. Their parents want it too, I'm just saying. It's showing up in their holiday spending. Plus, the best places to retire in the U.S. That and more coming up at 10 a.m. on Chicago Now. We'll be right back.
9:24. Hey, Chicago. It's going to be a cold one today. If you are just waking up, first of all, I'm jealous. Secondly, if you haven't been outside, make sure you layer it on up because wind chills are still below zero for many of us. That's where I want to start. What it feels like outside. 7 degrees below zero is still the wind chill at O'Hare, 0 at the lakefront, 10 degrees below zero in Aurora, 5 degrees below zero in Morris. Northwest Indiana temperatures for you, a few of you in the single digits. Right now feeling like 5 and 7 in Merrillville, 5 in Merrillville, 7 in Valpo. So that's where our warmer spots have been throughout the morning. Today, actual high temperatures will be in the upper teens to about 20 degrees, but that is going to feel like 11 or 12. So the wind chill is very important today. Here's your next 12 hours. Again, we hit that peak this afternoon and it only feels like 12 degrees outside. Then by this evening, 6 p.m., we are already dropping that wind chill below zero again. Tonight, dropping down to actual lows in the single digits, around 5 for O'Hare, below zero in western areas. And tomorrow morning, it's going to feel like we could be around 15 to 20 degrees below zero again with the wind chill. So Friday, tomorrow's Friday. We made it to Friday. Temperatures will be a little more on the mild side tomorrow, hovering at about 30 degrees, but that is going to feel like the upper teens. Your Friday wind chill forecast keeping us very cold, reaching around 17 or 18 in the afternoon. 7-day forecast, 31 degrees back on Saturday, so more mild this weekend, but we do have the chance for a touch of light snow Friday night into early Saturday. Sunday, 27 degrees. The chance for snow is back Saturday night into early Sunday. And then next week, Monday, cold at 24, but then more snow is possible Monday night and Tuesday. Tuesday's highs back to the mid-30s, and then on Wednesday, 36 degrees with a rain-snow mix possible. So for today, generally quiet, beautiful looking, but it is going to be dangerously cold all day long. Now we have a couple photos to share with you that were uploaded to our Fox 32 weather app. This first one from Glenn. Meet the new neighbors in Prospect Heights. Look at these guys. I wonder if they're together. We need Kaplan in here. Is this a male and that a female maybe? You think? I'm not sure if they mate for life, but if I had to guess, this one looks like the guy. Maybe he's bigger. I don't know. Maybe we'll have some babies in the spring. We'll see. Thanks, Glenn, for uploading this photo. So beautiful. And then this one is kind of funny. Rachel, speaking of babies, I read her email, and she said, I don't know if this one's pregnant or she's just had a good Thanksgiving, this blue jay. I don't think she's pregnant, not the time for that. But she does look like she's fluffed up those feathers. They do that to try to stay warm, but what a pretty bird. And then this last video, ooh, I didn't see this one yet. I'm watching it with you. So this looks like a hawk, maybe hunting a little bit, Susan. I did see a post this morning of an owl next to the road. I guess they get next to the road to get the animals. Easy hunting. All right, 9:27, we'll be right back.
9:30, everybody, welcome back. And we continue to follow developments on the South Shoreline. In fact, a major development just within the last few minutes here. Service has been restored on the line. I know a lot of people have been waiting to hear that for hours. The power has been restored. All trains will be leaving East Chicago and Miller stations within the next few minutes. So sorry for the folks who woke up early, but for the folks who are going to catch a train in the next few minutes or so, that's great news for you. If you got Tootsies, you will be freezing them off today. Roseanne has been talking with people this morning who had to bring out the big coat. She's joining us live now. You look beautiful. I got to tell you, when you popped up on my screen this morning, I was like, oh, look at Roseanne.
All bundled up. Well, the sun is shining, the skies are blue, but don't be fooled. It is frigid, just 7 degrees here in Western Springs. But as we've been hearing, it's really the same story all over the Chicago area today. It is dangerous, dangerously cold for anybody, but especially if you're going to be walking to work, or maybe you're a commuter walking to the bus or train to take it to school or work. There is icy snow on the ground that you need to contend with. That's something to watch out for. And bundling up is absolutely mandatory. But just about everybody we talk to has a slightly different technique for that.
No exposed skin is number one. So I do the full thing.
Yeah.
Full thing. People look at you odd, but ever since COVID, I think everyone just accepts it now, so you can roll with it.
Thank you.
Okay, so here's my trick, okay? I have the hood. I have the hat. I asked for one of those headbands for Christmas to add a third layer because I think that's important. I have my scarf. I have my fleece. I have another layer under that. I've got my jeans, a long coat. I've got my tights. I've got my boots. I've got this hand warmer, which is amazing, battery powered. And I've got that extra secret layer, the Thanksgiving layer. I find it kind of beneficial to fatten yourself up a little bit before the cold weather sets in.
Roseanne, you look
I don't know.
so
That's
great.
my story, and
I
I'm
do
sticking
not
with it.
believe that for 1 second, sister. All right, thank you so much. Now get inside. It's the season of giving, and a reminder that gifting experiences helps create long-lasting memories. This is so popular these days. Joining us today is Jill Halpin, the founder of LittleChicagoGuide.com, to tell us how you can give Chicago to those that you love. And there's some really great gift ideas here. So why don't you walk us through some of the ideas that are offered up on the website?
Sure. Okay, so at LittleChicagoGuide.com, we really want to celebrate these, world-class museums, iconic Chicago brands, things that really represent the best city in the world. And so some of those things I'm talking about are like Shed Aquarium, the gift of tickets, annual passes to Shed Aquarium. I mean, not only can you experience the aquarium itself, but they've also got interactive exhibits where you can, meet a sea otter and things like that. All kinds, tons of educational programs. That's a gift for people of all ages. Everyone loves the aquarium. Fabulous, fabulous gift. Another one that I think is fantastic is the Brookfield Zoo Chicago. So one thing about them, right now they've got Holiday Magic coming in, but again, they have so many cool interactive programs, but what I like, they have those up-close personal encounters. You can give someone the gift of meeting a beluga whale or a flamingo. I mean, how cool is that? Keeping along with the zoos, there's the Lincoln Park Zoo. Now that's a free zoo, but right now they've got zoo lights going on, and there's tons of experiences right there. They've got them for adults. There's, cocktails, things like you can walk through and see the beautiful lights.
There's like the sightseeing tours in Chicago. What a great gift to give someone maybe a dinner on the river.
Absolutely, that's great. Chicago Boat Company. You can either do a luxury yacht or self-guided or self-driven heated boat tours. Those are fantastic. What a great way to see the city.
So this is all on the website. You also brought in some merch that I've never seen before for Lake Michigan lovers. What do they have on the website?
Yes, so we've got it at LittleChicagoGuide.com, but some great gifts to celebrate Chicago Beach Club, Chicago Beach Life. We've also got Lake Michigan Beach Club, things like that.
And then the Franco mints, the Garrett's popcorn, such a hit, especially with out-of-towners.
Exactly. I mean, what an iconic brand, and this ships everywhere. Would you like to try some?
Sure, yeah.
Okay,
I'll just actually have one right out of here. That way
so
I
good.
can declare
so
it
good.
as my own.
That's
so
right.
good.
It's yours.
I also recommend, I was talking to a friend of mine who has family, I want to say in Hawaii, and the shipping there is so expensive for the Garretts. So they're like, you know, you go visit a loved one, make sure you pack it ahead of time and take it with you.
Absolutely.
That way you know, don't have to pay those shipping fees.
Can I just tell you really quick, 2 other great ones?
Right.
Top of the Hancock Chicago 360, that Tilt Experience. There's a holiday market up there on the 10th. Fabulous. And Chicago Children's Museum. I mean, what an inclusive, great place to be right at Navy Pier. Kids of all ages love that.
So where can viewers find details then about all of these experiences that you talked about?
LittleChicagoGuide.com, and we've also got a sweepstakes right now. You can sign up to win an opportunity to experience all of these great Chicago things.
All right, Jill, thank you so very much.
Thank you.
The popcorn's going to go to good use here on Good Day Chicago. We'll be right back.
All right, welcome back, everyone. It's 9:38 as we give you this live look outside. We cannot say it enough. Bundle up today, okay? We want everyone to be all right. Don't spend a lot of time outside, and if you do, make sure you have on some layers, you know? A new Gold Coast bar is promising to double the fun and maybe get you warm on the inside. Joining me today, Eric Holmes and Peter Vestinos. Welcome back, welcome in, appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
Thank you so
love
much
to
for
see you
having
as
us.
always.
Yeah, we're really excited to make a cocktail that can warm you up on the inside for these really, really cold temperatures. And we've got Peter, who's an absolute titan in our industry and a legend. I know he doesn't like that I use that term, but it's very true.
Thank you, appreciate it.
What fun are we getting into today? Or what trouble are we getting into today?
We're doing a Brooklyn cocktail today.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yep. So at Double Fun, and where is Double Fun at?
Double Fun is in the Gold Coast on Elm and State. So it's actually the sister bar to Sparrow.
Okay.
Sparrow just celebrated 10 years, and on that week, we decided to open a second bar.
Oh, listen, that's a wonderful thing. You are expanding in just the right time there. So what do we have here?
We're doing a Brooklyn-style cocktail, and Peter is going to walk us through the specs of this, and I'll make it for y'all.
Brooklyn is actually one of my favorite cocktails to make, guess. It has a lot of similarities to the Manhattan, which I think everybody's familiar with.
Yeah.
Where it has rye, vermouth, bitters, and maraschino. But in this instance, the vermouth is a dry vermouth, so it makes a little bit of a lighter cocktail. And then the maraschino is still there, but instead of using a dashing bitters, we use an Amaro. In this case, Moletti Amaro.
And how does that change maybe the flavor?
It lets the base spirit of the rye shine through a little bit more. And today we decided to use two different High West expressions, the double rye and the rendezvous. The double rye for a little bit more of the classic rye notes of eucalyptus and spice, and then the rendezvous brings more of a depth into the cocktail.
Yeah, and I kind of think that's similar to like opening up your second restaurant, your second bar, is that, you know, you kind of get different flavor profiles between the two of them.
We do. I always describe it as layers. So we're always layering onto the bar. We work with a fantastic design team, Siren Betty, who I love to work because they do those layers in the bar. And, you know, the bars feel like they've been there a long time because of that work.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited about what you have coming to the area. Is it already open?
Open 2 weeks ago.
Open 2 weeks ago.
Excellent date spot.
Okay.
It's a great date spot.
All right. We need to check this drink out first. So what are we doing right now?
So we are spinning this. It's going to dilute and chill the drink and get it ready for the glass. We always do a little touch taste.
Perfection.
Always.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Never going to serve you something that I wouldn't drink myself.
Well, thank you. That's why you keep coming back around here. We appreciate that. Dedication.
And you and I will cheers to this with Peter here. And check them out on their webpage, doublefunchicago.com, as well as their Instagram page, doublefunchicago.
You have some cool things happening at either one of your places for the holidays?
Decorations, but I think the space speaks for itself. It's very classic. Double Fun southeast exposure, so beautiful sunlight coming in, which will really warm me up.
Cheers, friends.
Cheers.
Happy
I
holidays.
think that we should have the Good Day Chicago holiday party at Double Fun.
He said that he's going to bartend for us. Oh, boy. I don't know if you should bartend for us. We might not make it out of there with jobs.
There's all kinds of different drinks.
No. It's wonderful. Congratulations to you on the
Appreciate it.
new place. We always love having you back.
Thank you so
Come back
much.
anytime. All right, everyone. We do have some breaking news that's just coming in. Let's get over to Natalie.
Anita, we have some sad news to bring you. This is a face of a man we have known to grow to love. The Park Forest Police Department just shared word that Park Forest Detective Tim Jones has passed away. He was critically wounded during a shootout in 2016. He arrested an individual despite those injuries. Officer Tim Jones was 24 at the time of that shooting and a rookie with the department. He was shot 3 times, and after more than a year in the hospital, he was told he would not survive, but he recovered from that shooting. He worked tirelessly to fight challenges. He was so inspirational to so many. The department says Officer Tim Jones passed away yesterday, but they say he will always be an inspiration. We'll be right back.
9:46, you know, Dasher and Dancer and Prancer and Vixen. Look, we won't name them all, but you know Santa's reindeer are busy this time of year.
Yes, they are. And Jake's been getting up close and personal with some reindeer this morning. You can as well. Tell us where you are, Jake.
That's right, guys. We are out here in Shabana, and let me tell you, we know on Christmas Eve where the reindeer are. They're very busy. They have a very important job. But where are they the rest of the year? I can tell you, they're at Whispering Pines Reindeer Ranch. We're here with Randy, and we've got Titus, and this is Opal. Yes. This is Opal. Okay, but then let me tell you, they've got a lot more than these beauties. April, you want to let the other ones in? We're going to let the other ones in. And Randy, I got to ask, tell people what this place is exactly that we're looking at.
So Whispering Pines Reindeer Ranch, we're on 80 acres, and we've got 15 reindeer at present. We've got a couple of mini donkeys, mini horses, but reindeer are our primary focus out here.
It's just beautiful whenever you're out here. How many reindeer do you have total?
15 right now.
15. And you know what's interesting is since we've been out here, something I've noticed is they all have really interesting, distinct personalities.
Oh, yeah. We've got divas. We've got timid. Olive is a diva. Opal is just a rock star. She's a stable personality. She stands for hours, but she doesn't want to be caught. She wants to be her own self.
I love it. I love the freedom. Now, obviously, you guys stay very busy throughout the year. People can't necessarily come out here to the ranch to check them out, but they don't really have to because you guys bring these beauties all over the greater Chicagoland area. You do Make-A-Wish. You'll go to airports. You go to Navy Pier. You guys sort of bring them all around Chicago this time of year.
Yeah, I'm doing shows 6 days a week, and we normally have about 10 on weekends, and yep, super busy right now.
And it's pretty incredible, and I was amazed to hear that they're really great and docile with, when the kids come out. I mean, it's got to be amazing to see the kids light up, and it seems like they're really great with them.
It's amazing how year-round they're wild, they're on their own, and when it comes to showtime, they change their tune, and they just know how to behave. It surprises us every year.
I'm just as surprised at how great they've been with us out here all morning long. April, I want to bring you over. For someone who's watching this and they're thinking, like, I've got to get them out to meet my kids. I've got to get them out for the event that we're having. Where can they find more information about you guys?
Yeah, we have a website, Whispering Pines Reindeer Ranch, and we have all of our shows in a newsletter, and we also have our social media where you can see lots of videos of them running and jumping and just being their personalities here on the farm as well.
It's unbelievable, guys. April, thank you so much. Randy, we appreciate you. If you can't tell, I mean, just take a look at this, guys. It is absolutely beautiful out here. Whispering Pines Reindeer Ranch. Take a look in the distance. It's just been unbelievable watching them out here all day long. They've been great with us out there. We've had a great time and listen, you can check them out around Chicago, but there's one night that they're very busy, and that night's coming up, Christmas Eve. You'll see them. Maybe you'll hear them on your rooftop. You'll hear them in their front yard. If you've been good, guys, on that note, we're going to toss it back to you guys in the studio.
We're going to be tracking them.
That's right. We will. Yeah, as we do every year. Thanks so much, Jake. They are so super cute. I was telling Anita, I'm pretty sure that they lose those antlers every year and they regrow them, which is unbelievable. Yeah. And then when they come back, they have like a really nice velvety texture, and then it kind of comes off and kind of looks like they do out there.
I want to be out there to visit.
Right. Did you know there's a mermaid in Chicago right on Lake Michigan?
I want to be where the people are. Yeah, she's been there since 1986 and created quite a stir. Dane Placco takes a deep dive in this monument moment.
There may be no mermaids in Lake Michigan, but there's one living on the beach on Chicago's South Side. In a quiet corner of Burnham Park, just south of Oakwood Beach, visitors are surprised to find a massive mermaid carved in stone, just steps from the sandy beach. It came to life in 1986 when, over a 2-week period, a group of Chicago artists surreptitiously and without permission carved the mermaid from a giant block of limestone. on an outcropping that had been part of a retaining wall holding back the waves in Burnham Park. The daughter of one of the artists served as a model for the whimsical sculpture. Their goal was to create a mermaid that looked as though she had just fallen asleep after swimming ashore from Lake Michigan. For years, the origin of the mermaid remained a mystery, locals speculating it was a leftover remnant from the 1893 Columbian Exposition. Then, in 2000, the Chicago Sun-Times broke the story and revealed the identities of the 4 sculptors. In 2004, the Chicago Park District began repairing and replacing the retaining wall. And when the public demanded the mermaid be saved, the Park District removed the sculpture and placed it in storage, where a group of students worked with the original artist to restore the mermaid to her original beauty. In 2010, after the Shoreline project was finished, the mermaid was moved back to Burnham Park, no longer part of the retaining wall, but in her own resting spot, where she will continue to surprise and amuse passing pedestrians, bikers, and beachgoers for generations to come.
.55 is to give you a live look outside of our studios here on Michigan Avenue. And you see folks have multiple layers on. The big coats are out. Yeah, it's going to be a cold day today, everybody. Make sure you stay safe. And we're not done.
No, not just yet. Let's send it up to Studio 32, where Chicago Now is getting ready to start at 10 o'clock. Hi, Anthony.
Hey, guys. In this bitter cold, I have to say one of the best kept secrets in the city of Chicago is how cozy it is in the fireplace room at the Chicago Athletic Association. It's right up here on Michigan Avenue. Perfect place to go during the holidays. And coming up, they are going to be hosting what is called the Sauced Holiday Market. And so we're going to get a really close look at some of the cool stuff you're going to find there. Okay, yeah, once more, it's a cozy place to be. Also, more and more young people, Gen Zers, they are relying on AI to help them meet their financial goals. So we're going to tell you about a new study discovered about the spending habits of Gen Z. And look who I have here. She's working on her mic. I don't know if it's fixed yet, but Caitlin and I will be up in just moments. In the meantime, back downstairs to you two.
Thank you.
Does sauced mean like sauce you're going to put on things, or sauced like...
You've had a little too much. I'm sure we'll find out if we stick
like
around.
It's time to call a cab.
Yeah.
All right, 9:56, we'll be right back.
Today would be one of those days. Do not do it. Today would be one of those days. Do not do it.
We need to bring out the lamp. It's somewhere in Chicago, I know. That's it for us, everybody. If you want to stay inside, you know, a little bit longer, Good Day Chicago is over, but stay right where you are. Chicago Now starts.
Chicago Now. Is it Friday yet, Antho?
Almost.
It's almost Friday, you guys. It's Thursday, and it is very cold out there on this Thursday.
And how are those short sleeves working out for you today?
I had my fuzzy sweatshirt on again, and I just realized I've got my old, scuffed up tennis shoes on.
I love those things.
Well, I didn't really mean to keep these on. I wore them all morning because I was in for Kaplan, so I'm up and down a lot.
Yeah.
But now
what would you normally have on?
Probably heels. But I might offend you guys at home with these disgusting.
I like those old school Adidas.
They are very comfortable.
Let's get it. Can we take a look at the lake again one more time, guys? I just want a little scene setter there.
Yeah.
It looks like the lake has not frozen over just yet. You know how it usually freezes for the first few hundred yards? I mean, the top of it always freezes, but It looks like it's still clinging on to it's still in liquid form.
It's clinging to its liquid there. Yeah, but today we could see river jams, river ice flooding jams, ice jam flooding.
Yes.
Because of how cold it is.
On the river.
Yes, so that's something to look out for.
I think we've done features, speaking of that, where, you know, Dane Placco will go out on isn't there a boat that the fire department has that breaks up the jams?
Yeah, in fact, I just saw a post, this is out of Michigan, but just 2 days ago, there was a deer that was stuck out on the lake.
Oh, no.
In like my hometown. Yeah. But the fire department, they got out their boat and they break through the ice and they saved they got the deer out.
Yeah.
I don't think it made it.
Oh, no.
I know.
We did a story similar. There was a coyote that was stuck on a drifting iceberg out in the middle of Lake Michigan.
I feel like I remember that.
It wasn't out in the middle of the lake, but it was like a few hundred yards off the coast. And they got him to safety.
The way people will rally
for
for these wild animals.
Yeah.
Yeah, do anything.